It's a gorgeous evening in Blacksburg, and we're set early in the season, yeah, but it's a Big East matchup. Syracuse comes calling against the number 19 Hokies here at Lane Stadium, which is filled to capacity. Donovan McNabb, certainly one of the finest quarterbacks in the nation, and you look at his numbers, no interceptions this year, one of the highest percentage throwing quarterbacks in Syracuse history. But can they get the monkey off their back tonight? Hi, everybody. Ron Franklin along with Mike Gottfried, and welcome once again to Saturday Primetime. Well, to talk to some of the alums of Syracuse, they say 2 straight losses, it's a season gone bad. But yet you sit and look at video of this Orangemen football team. They are a very talented lot, Mike Gottfried. Where in the world have they gone wrong?
Ron, this is a ball club that's lost 2 games by a total of 3 points, so I'm not sure whether the glass is half full or half empty. Donovan McNabb in the offense averaging over 30 points. One of the problems is defensing the run. Syracuse has given up 199 yards rushing per game. You know Virginia Tech's going to try to run the football. They have to stop it. They got to draw a line in the sand tonight.
Speaking of Virginia Tech, they're almost like the danger fields of the East. They've won 21 of their last 23 games, but yet their name doesn't roll off like a Florida, like an Alabama. Mike, why?
They've quietly built a great program, and when you look, when you lose your quarterback, Jim Druckenmiller, he goes into the pros at San Francisco in the first round. All of a sudden, Al Clark starts against Rutgers, and it counts for 3 touchdowns. So you know that they got players and they have depth.
Virginia Tech won the toss. They have deferred. They will receive in the second half. And we are just about set. As you look at Paul Pasqualoni, boy, he's anxious to get this thing underway. Here's the kickoff, very long and deep into the end zone. It will not be returned. Kevin Johnson about 8 yards deep. And let's check in down on the sideline with Adrian Karsten. Adrian?
Well, Ron, we all know that the last 2 weeks have been very, very frustrating for the Syracuse football players. And in an attempt this week to keep this team together, I am told that quarterback Donovan McNabb himself confronted some of his teammates, challenging them to refocus on football. Now, for a non-senior, non-captain to stand up in the middle of the varsity locker room and address his teammates and challenge them like that, that's a very bold move. But you need to remember, he does not have the full and complete respect of all of his teammates. But tonight would be a perfect opportunity to earn it, Ron.
So McNabb and company scrimmaging from their own 20-yard line, and a reminder that Rob Conrad, the outstanding running back, not with his ball club tonight. And the first play right up the middle is going to go for absolutely nothing. Here are the starters on offense for Syracuse tonight. McNabb will have McIntosh and Aaron Lewis, a youngster out of Bayview, Texas. The offensive line up front, and this is a veteran group and very good as we check the receivers. Williams, the tight end, Spotwood, the game breaker, Jim Turner, also a breaker. And up front with the offensive line, the coaches, Kiernan, Bowen, Warner, and Banowitz. Those are the gentlemen up front in the trenches. They say officially a loss of 1 yard, so it's second down, and let's call it 11. Running play, they come back into the boundary. McIntosh, and he will be across the 25, and they'll spot him at around the 26-yard line. Here are the starters defensively for Virginia Tech tonight. Engelberger has really been getting a lot of attention, and rightfully so after his first game. He's joined by Williams, Hairston, and Wheel. The linebackers, a young group, Irby, Tate, and Jamel Smith. And in the secondary, Lauren Johnson and Anthony Bidget, the 2 corners, and Prioleau and Carpenter are the safeties. Third down, line to make is the 30 for the Orangemen. Good look at number 96, John Engelberger. McNabb possibly with a second audible. The crowd is very loud.
Got him into delay of game, Ron. They kept moving around. Donovan McNabb checked off once. He didn't like what he was looking at. Checked off again, but ran out of 25 seconds.
One of the things, obviously, that happens when you go to hostile territory, and the Virginia Tech crowd, as we mentioned, a packed house here tonight. And they have been very rowdy in the early going. As you look at Paul Pasqualoni and his numbers, 71%, 52 wins, 20 losses. And a couple of those on there by a total of 3 points. And both on final plays of ball games. You can coach a lifetime and never have a game come down to a final play. 3rd and 8. McNabb first pass. Nope, gonna run it. Donovan is down at the 23-yard line. John Engelberger, the young man we talked about in its punting time.
Ron, what sets up now is the kicking game. You and I both talked about this. Both teams have had trouble to pass ball game, and when that happens, coaches go back and spend a lot of details with the kicking game. But the problem is your kickers, their confidence is shaking a little bit.
Duncan has had an injured foot, and they're not coming after him. They, in fact, had the return on. Beautiful kick, and a fair catch is called for by Scales and made back at the 31-yard line. So it's a 46-yard kick and nothing on the return. Clark, as Mike mentioned, the starter at quarterback. Oxendine and Parker, and just because it says fullback by Parker, don't be mistaken. He is a former tailback. The receivers, Sullivan, Stewie, and Harrison. And up front with the offensive line, this is a good group, particularly over on the left side with Smith, Vick, and Todd Washington. The Napoli and Baylor making up the right side at guard and tackle. Good luck at number 5. Al Clark had an outstanding beginning in his first ball game 2 weeks ago. Showed all kind of poise and confidence. Play action on first down. He's going to go on top, but he's got a man, and the ball is tipped and almost intercepted by Jason Poles. Check the starters defensively. Walters, Danish, Coleman, and Delane Morgan. The down 4 for Syracuse. The linebackers, of course, Pons is the veteran of this group right here. And when you look at the secondary, they are young there as well. Nash, Gadsden, only 5'7", Donovan, Darius, and Jason Poles. And of course, Darius, I guess you would say, is the bell cow there.
On Virginia Tech was sending a message. Keep the safeties out of the running game right on the first play.
Well, they sent it early, didn't they? Oxendine tries to cut it back into the middle. Going to be hit by Jason Walters as he gets to the 35-yard line, and it'll be third down at about 6.
When you talk to the Virginia Tech coaches, they say that last year Syracuse routed them, and the reason they routed them was they were not able to make any plays with their wide receivers on the outside. Those corners and they had Kevin Abrams last year, they just blanketed the wide receivers, and that allowed them to have 9 men versus the rush. They do not want to let that happen again today.
Oxendine, will he be the man on third down and 6? As big Todd Washington goes over the football. They swing the ball out to Oxendine. Gets one block, will not get a second. That is a great play by Pond. Number 50, the senior out of Jacksonville, Florida, got outside to make the open field tackle and stop him before he got the first down.
He's a 3-year starter, Ron, and on the Butkus list. We've seen some good linebackers in the past couple of weeks. Even Jamie Duncan last Thursday night at Vanderbilt. Antoine Pons is the leader of the Syracuse defense.
Jimmy Kibble comes in to punt. He had one block 2 weeks ago. And the man who's back deep is Quentin Spotwood, and he is capable of a home run any place on the football field. So keep an eye for him. Left footer's kick. This is a nice one. Spotwood on the run, retreats to the 10-yard line. Return to the far side, and a nice job by Virginia Tech. They've hemmed him up for the moment, and they'll push him out of bounds shy of the 20. 51 yards in the kick and 5 on the return. So there's a stoppage in play. Let's take it with them. 10:47 left. Opening quarter. We'll be right back.
You like the way you feel when you get what you need, like the kid of your heart, like a break in the weather. You deserve someone who's always there at your service. Quality care.
Quality Care Service from Ford and Lincoln Mercury dealers.
When you buy a new Honda 4Trax 300, 4x4, or the rugged Foreman 400, you can see something you just won't see on any other ATV. Your choice of 7.9% APR financing and no down payment, or a pair of incredible German precision optic Steiner binoculars. Now you can see why Honda ATVs are the best on earth.
We make changes day and night to increase performance. And after winning the PPG Cup Championship, racing tradition dictates we make one more, which suits us just fine. Because as you can see, At Honda, we never stop improving.
ESPN's presentation of Saturday primetime college football is brought to you by Honda. Get one of the best deals on earth. Get a pair of Steiner binoculars with selected Honda ATVs. We are back. Mike Gottfried, let me ask you. Both of these teams in their last ball games had problems with special teams. Could that be the difference in this football game tonight?
Well, it could be, Ron, but you and I talked today. I think when coaches spend a lot of detail on it, I don't think so. I don't think we'll see a block kick, and I'll probably see 3 or 4 today, but I don't think we will. But the tenseness on the sidelines when it's a kicking situation because of lack of confidence will be evident.
Yeah, it's McIntosh right up the middle. Not a big fella. He's going to have 1, maybe 2 as Jamel Smith will put the stop on him. When you send a kid this size, 5'8", 178, in between the tackles, if there's not a crease there, then he disappears quickly.
No, and the problem when you play Virginia Tech, they're an 8-man front defensive football team, and if they can get you in that first down with a regular run, they're going to win those battles most of the time because they have you outnumbered. Donovan McNabb has to be able to come up with some big pass plays, move around the pocket, and try to get outside the 8-man front.
McNabb again with an audible, 2nd down and 8. Gonna throw, or will he? Pressure, gets away. Now got a man wide open right down the middle, and he threw it too tall to Lewis. Oh my goodness. They had left the running back who had come out of the backfield, speaking of Virginia Tech. And it was Irby who almost threw him for a loss.
Well, when you have an 8-man front, you sometimes can't account for the 4th man on one side. Now, Donovan McNabb's not going to see Corey Irby come in and blitz him, but the good athletic ability of Donovan McNabb keeps him out of that. There should have been a sack. Now he spins out, throws a good pass. This pass should have been caught.
See, Mike, this is where the great athleticism of a McNabb, who is 6'3" and 220 pounds, not easy to take off his feet.
And the point guard vision in basketball, that he can see something upfield right away.
2 tight ends for Syracuse on the 3rd down and 8. Option play. Back to the open side. Fakes it. Going to have the first down and more at the 30 and out to the 35-yard line. And so Syracuse crosses them up. They go with a power formation in toward the boundary and come back to the open field for 18 yards.
Well, you have an athlete you just mentioned about Donovan McNabb being a basketball player. He blamed himself for the North Carolina State loss, but this is what he brings here. He was able to avoid the rush and the sack, and then he comes right back with an option play, breaks downfield for a big first down, good field position.
Now, you made a great point when Virginia Tech had the ball, that they sent a message on the first play to get the safeties off the line of scrimmage. Syracuse just sent one as far as pinching the line of scrimmage, didn't they?
They exactly did. When they overshifted the 8-man front a little bit, he was able to come back to the backside.
McIntosh fights his way across the 40. He's out close to the 42, and let's check in with Mike Tirico. Michael.
Ron, that big game over on the Deuce, North Carolina, Stanford. North Carolina 3 and out. Stanford a good punt return. John Ritchie off the pass from Chad Hutchinson. Stanford scores first, and they lead at Chapel Hill.
I'll tell you something. Coaches have, I've heard them say it for years, don't play Stanford in September because they're on the quarter system. Their kids are not at school yet. They got total focus on youth.
Well, that'll be a wake-up call for that North Carolina defense. They need to get more offense than they got last week against Indiana.
McIntosh again finds a little crease, puts a head down. He is close to the first down, and in fact, from where the linesman has spotted him, let's see. That looks like it is going to be a first down. Midget on the tackle.
This is a dangerous game for Virginia Tech because they got thumped by Syracuse last year. And Syracuse is it's a circle the wagon game for them. I mean, they've got to come in here now, lost 2 games that everybody thought they were world beaters after the big win against Wisconsin. And now it's a Big East. It's a new season. And Paul Pasqualoni has the attention of his team all week in this ball game. They are out for blood.
McIntosh 5 carries now for a total of 19 yards. No score if you just joined us. About to go under 8 minutes to play in this first quarter. Against Syracuse with 2 tight ends. They line up one with the wing, try to get the blocking help, and there's nothing there for McIntosh. Wow, Jamel Smith is here to smack him down hard. And that's going to be a loss of 1 on the play.
What Virginia Tech is able to do on defense is make the shift. When Syracuse moved both tight ends to the left, they moved their defense and was able to make this play on Kyle McIntosh. Syracuse has 2 big tight ends. Sensano, number 89, Roland Williams, 85, and that helps against the 8-man front.
Loss of 1, so they're playing with a 2nd down and 11. Spreading them out this time. 4 wide receivers. Virginia Tech spreads with him. Pass thrown complete, and he's got it out to Kevin Johnson, fighting for the 1st down. It is going to be a 3rd down, though, and he will need about 1.5 yards. Prioleau on the stop.
Well, Kevin Johnson's confident. We found out in the elevator last night. Go ahead, tell the story.
Well, he got on and he said, Mr. ESPN, if I get the opening kickoff tomorrow night, I'm going to return it for a touchdown. So, okay.
We talked to him about the ball game. He said, we're very confident. Nothing's wrong with our ball club. We're going to come back and we're going to play hard and win this football game.
Big down right here. 3rd down. As we said, they need about 1.5 yards. And now Paul Pasqualone calling for a timeout as the play clock was getting down very low, and he did not want a delay penalty. We'll take it with him. Timeout on the field. 6:45 to play, opening quarter. No score.
Hey, Jimmy, what's up? I'm thirsty. Anything else? Nope.
Is that a new big king?
No, it's a bag, Coach.
No, in the bag, son.
Yes, sir, it is.
Well, what's a smart kid like you doing sitting on the bench? Get in there and play quarterback.
Really?
Like taking candy from a baby.
The new Big King from Burger King, flame broiled with 75% more beef. It's like a Big Mac, except it's bigger and tastes better. And right now, you can get one for just 99 cents.
Coach said I could play halfback.
You like the way you feel when you get what you need. Like the kid of your heart, like a break in the weather. You deserve someone who's always there at your service. Quality care.
Quality care service from Ford and Lincoln Mercury dealers.
Tulane meets Syracuse and the Big East's explosive superstar, Donovan McNabb. Tulane, Syracuse at 6, next Saturday on ESPN2.
Coach Beamer, and you know him well. You coached together, right?
He was an assistant coach for me at Murray State. He's a fine man. He's an outstanding football coach. And Ron, when he took this program over, they had a couple of seasons where he started to build, and he has built this team into a real power here in the Big East.
Tell you what we need to take a look at later tonight. His son, who weighs less than 200 pounds, is the long snapper on punts.
And he does an excellent job for him, Shane.
2 tight ends. In fact, 3 in the ball game right now for Syracuse. Nothing. Flag comes down at the line of scrimmage, but I'll tell you what, Prioleau was in the backfield hitting McIntosh, and now let's see what the laundry is about.
False start. Movement before the snap on the offense.
I'll tell you, actually, Syracuse gets a break here because it happened prior to the snap, so the penalty will be stepped off. They get to call another play, Mike, rather than have to punt.
You're exactly right. And on that last play, what they tried to do is bring in 3 tight ends, play in a phone booth, real tight formation. There's the right tackle. Banowitz, number 59, moved. But that brings that 8-man front, makes it about 11-man front.
There was a lot of beef, very close together. So now it's 3rd down, about 6.5, line to make, the Virginia Tech 45.
What happens right here now, Ron, by going to this open set, Syracuse is trying to put receivers against linebackers, the inside receiver, which is Kevin Johnson, number 12, working against the linebacker, Corey Irby.
What the holdup is, Buddy Ward, the referee, is asking them to put it at 6:45. It had dropped to 6 minutes and 40 seconds, so they just added 5. Time is back in. 3rd down, 6.5. He's sacked. Steve Tate back at the 41-yard line.
The last 21 games, Virginia Tech's defense has had 110 tackles for losses out of their 8-man front. And it happens again. Good pressure on Donovan McNabb. Bring him down. Can't get the ball off.
Scales calls for the fair catch. Fumbles the ball. And now the flag. This will be a delay of game because he signaled for the fair catch, fumbled it, picked it up, and ran with it. And he's taken it to the 32, a 36-yard kick, and he got 8 on the return. Or is the penalty against Syracuse for being
with the opportunity to kick on the kicking team.
Yeah, they were too close to the punt receiver, and that's going to be the call.
Yep.
Tried to avoid it, but they just felt like he was too close.
So let's take a timeout. Still no score. We'll be right back.
Before the heat of battle, comes the calm before the storm. A moment of meditation, of preparation, and ritual. It's that moment in time before titans clash. When the world stands still. Witness these champions as they rise to the challenge. Only on DirecTV Ringside.
Did you see Rocket last night? That was classic Clemens.
Absolutely agree. You know what I liked about him? Nothing fancy, comes right at you.
Chicken, please. And then when he's got all his pitches working, you can just forget about it.
Unstoppable. I'll have the chicken too, please.
Can you just put the biscuit in the basket? Biscuit in the basket. Biscuit in the basket. Biscuit in the basket. Biscuit in the basket. Oh, Dan.
I thought I was over Keith.
I would have just ordered the cornbread. None of this would have happened.
I know.
So the penalty is stepped off. Mike, actually the situation, he muffed the kick. And that can't be advanced. It's from the spot, but the player was within the 6 feet boundary, and a penalty stepped off against Syracuse. So the ball is out at the 31-yard line. Al Clark with Oxendine and Marcus Parker behind him. We haven't seen Parker tonight, but he rambled for over 100 yards in that game against Rutgers 2 weeks ago. But the pitch goes to Oxendine. Parker blocking, and he'll take it for about 3.5 around the 35-yard line at Marlon Greenwood defensively for Syracuse.
Well, Norm Gerber, the defensive coordinator, told us yesterday that the problems that they had against Oklahoma, North Carolina State in the run, they just went back to practice this week, tried to cut back the things they were doing on defense. Right here is Norm Gerber. Tried to play basic defense tonight and just let their players play.
Syracuse shifting around on defense. The handoff to Oxendine. Slow developing play, but Keith Bullock will find to put the stop after a gain of 3. And let's check in with Adrian again.
Well, Ron, yesterday I spent some time on campus with the Ox, and he promised me that tonight he had something to prove, because you remember 2 weeks ago in his first senior start up there at Rutgers, he only covered 42 yards, and 28 of those were for a loss. So he says tonight, in front of about 200 friends and family from nearby Chester, Virginia, his hometown, he picks up this little penny yesterday, says, this is my lucky penny. I'm going to score 3 touchdowns tonight. And I said, Ox, look, it's going to take a little bit more than luck to do that.
Yep, I think against the Syracuse football team, the way they are bound and determined tonight. Clock is down to 3, down to 2. Going to have to hurry with the snap, but he does. Just as it goes to 0, Oxendine breaks it, has has 10, and it'll be a first down. Virginia Tech. Greenwood holding on to him, but he took it out to the 48-yard line.
Looked like it was a checkoff by Al Clark. Saw some movement in the defense by Syracuse. Made a good call at the ball to Ken Oxendine, who's a former offensive guard in high school. Great competitor. Billy Height, the running back coach, really believes in Ken Oxendine.
4 for 21 yards for Oxendine in the early going here. Still no score. 4.5 minutes left in his opening quarter. This is Parker. Tries to get a block. Takes it back to the left, and he's going to be knocked down hard for maybe a half-yard gain. Bullock and Pons are there to make the stop on him. And what's interesting, after we both left the field yesterday and come in here today, we have talked in terms of this being a high-scoring game. And so far, it's not just a feeling out thing. The two defenses have dominated, Mike.
Well, they really have. And Virginia Tech is a very good defense. They're not sure how good they are on defense because Rutgers really didn't challenge them.
Second down and 9. You see the late shift by Syracuse again. Up in the shotgun, throws it complete. That's Parker inside the 40, and he's down to the 38. Rod Gatson comes over to make the hit on him, and trust me, that's a mismatch because Parker weighs 235. Gatson only 177. It's good for 13 yards.
This is Parker right here. He's going to come out of the backfield on a crossing route. Little delay, clear out by the other receivers. Marcus Parker, who's an outstanding running back. He's more of a tailback playing fullback, Ron, and it gives him two fullbacks in the backfield. Two tailbacks in the backfield.
I know what you mean. On first down, Oxendine. Right up the middle, waltzes his way inside the 35, and he's down to the 33. Best looking drive that Virginia Tech has put together. Syracuse just had theirs, but they faltered on third down.
And when you're playing your first game at home, now they played Rutgers on the road. They have a lot of confidence. The crowd's in the ball game. They'd like to keep them in this game with a good first quarter score.
Quick snap off the no huddle this time. It's Parker. Breaks one tackle. Going to be hit by Bullock and stopped, but not before he gets the Virginia Tech first down. And a player is injured. That's Phil Nash for Syracuse, just getting up in the secondary.
Well, you're seeing what the problem is. For Syracuse, the last two games, they haven't been able to stop the run. Now, all of a sudden, Virginia Tech with a good mix of play action pass, running the football, the no-huddle offense, coming right at that defensive front of Syracuse.
Parker is shaken up. He's come to the sideline, and Cullen Hawkins, number 42, goes in replacing him. First down at the Syracuse 25. Oxendine weaves his way back into the middle. And maybe a gain of 1. Brian Coleman is holding on to him and knocks him down as we hit 2.5 minutes to play in this opening quarter, and Nash is having to go out of the ball game. We'll get a report on him. Here's a look at Parker on the sideline, and they obviously are dealing with his right knee. McIntosh comes in the ball game, replacing Phil Nash in the secondary. Quarterback draw. Clark. 5 yards, 8 and 9. Close to the first down. It's going to be 3rd and 1, and they'll mark it at the 16-yard line. Greenwood defensively.
Ron, in this drive again, Virginia Tech having success running the football. Now, when they opened up against Wisconsin, Syracuse held them to 60 rushing yardage. The great back Dane, and they go against North Carolina State, give up 163, and then Oklahoma 341. So you have some concern when that happens to you.
They only have 10 Syracuse. Now they're getting somebody. I'm sorry. I just looked up, and the coaches are panicking, saying, Poles, get back on the field.
They're not going to see you signaling timeout up here.
Power eye set. Ellison comes in the ball game, but it goes to Oxendine, battling for the first down, and I don't know. He could be just a little bit short. Is it field goal or is it 4-down territory, Mike?
Well, first of all, I want to say Keith Bullock made that tackle. I think they'll go for this. Keith Bullock with a nice high tackle run that kept him from getting that first down. What Frank Beamer wants to see right now is how far he's got to go for this first down.
Definitely a 4th down. They do not bring the change in. Clark looks over at the bench.
On defense, you got to be concerned that they don't try to draw you off sides on this play also. You got to be ready to play on the snap of the ball.
Now the Virginia Tech players asking the home crowd to silence a little bit. Very noisy in the stadium. No score, under a minute to play in this opening quarter. And they give it to Oxendine, and he will have the first down at left tackle. Bullock tripped him up, but it'll be 1st and 10, Virginia Tech.
I talked about him being an offensive guard in high school. Ken Oxendine's a big, strong back with great vision, and he saw a little crease in that defense and just enough to gain that first down. 223 pounds.
Very rapidly moving opening quarter. 26 seconds. Now the clock running down to 23. Clark will go under center. Oxendine right up the middle. He'll take it to the 11-yard line. That's going to be good for 3. Donovan Darius out of the secondary. And 3 seconds down to 2. That is the end of the first quarter. So as they change ends of the field, let's take a break. No score, but the Hokies are on the doorstep.
State Farm presents Rules of the Game.
We're talking about personal fouls. In this play, the defensive player commits unnecessary roughness on the ball carrier. What is the penalty?
I'm grateful that Michael Garcia is in our lives.
State Farm, Mike Garcia speaking.
We had a house fire, house burned.
That was a tough day.
They didn't treat us as a policy holder, they treated us as a neighbor, as a friend.
I gave him a check right away. We went from there to putting the pieces back together.
He's not a hero in the sense of a sports hero or a movie star. He's a quiet hero.
He looks out for everyone in the neighborhood.
It's gone from being a slogan to really being my way of life.
We're talking about personal fouls. In this play, the defensive man commits unnecessary roughness on the ball carrier. 15-yard penalty tacked on from the end of the run.
Rules of the Game has been brought to you by State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
You like the way you feel when you get what you need. Like the kid of your heart, like a break in the weather. You deserve someone who's always there at your service. Quality care.
Quality care service from Ford and Lincoln Mercury dealers.
Back in Blacksburg, Virginia, into the first quarter, no score, but the situation is a second down at the 11-yard line for the Hokies, and they are threatening. They need to take it to the Syracuse 3.5 of the first.
And the problem Syracuse is going to have on defense is they're running the ball so well that misdirection pass plays are going to really affect their linebackers right now.
Look at this. This is the 13th play of the drive. Play action. Clark under pressure, and he gets by the first tackler and is now going to be dropped, and here comes a late flag in. Cron's got him.
That may be on Cullen Hawkins, the backup to Marcus Parker.
Sure is, Mike. You're exactly right. Push in the back. Boy, what an untimely situation. And let's check in again with Mike Tirico. Mike.
Well, Ron, Notre Dame down 4, trying to mount the drive. They have something going, facing 2nd and 5. Ron Paulus rolls out, hit by Roosevelt Colvin, I should say. Adrian Beasley, touchdown, waiting for the kickoff. Notre Dame is down 11.
One thing about that team at Notre Dame, Ron, and I've said it from the start of the season, watching them play last year, they have no speed. They're a team that's going to have trouble when they play teams that got quickness and speed. I just don't see a lot of speed on that football. Not a lot of playmakers.
What a huge win that would be for Purdue. And then their head coach. Clark on second down. Looks for the end zone. Got it. Touchdown, Scales.
Caught him on a post pattern. Shawn Scales versus Rod Gadsden, number 9. But what made the play, Ron? No pressure at all out of the front four of Syracuse. Al Clark could have had a sandwich back there.
James Graham to attempt the extra point. Kick is up, and it's good. So let's take a timeout. 14:26 left until halftime, and our new score, the Hokies 7 and Syracuse nothing.
Oh, hi, honey. Am I excited about Thursday? Of course, Thursdays are anniversary.
Of course I planned a trip.
Yeah, we're taking the Orient Express to a spot in Thailand for bird watching.
Love you too. Bye.
New Visa Platinum.
Did you go to Thailand?
For the world of purchase power for the unexpected, including that trip you never thought you'd take.
This was such a surprise.
Yeah. New Visa Platinum. It's everywhere you want to be.
Explosive legs, bone-snapping jaws, a massive reinforced neck, flesh-shredding teeth, all controlled by a brain incapable of remorse. The Lost World, you're the T-Rex.
All right, let me see those game faces.
We need love.
You're out here to play baseball, right?
We need encouragement.
Supersonic speed, Mach 2.4.
We need inspiration.
We need rides!
Introducing used vehicles reconditioned, warranted, and ready for life. GM certified.
ESPN's presentation of Saturday primetime college football is brought to you by General Motors Certified Used Vehicles, ready for life. What you're looking at, 2nd Battalion Foxtrot Company, Virginia Tech Corps of Cadets. And for you trivia buffs, there are only 2 public universities in the nation with mixed civilian and military student bodies. Who's the other one? Texas A&M, College Station. So Virginia Tech and the Texas Aggies, both with civilian and military populations on campus. 7-0, Virginia Tech leads, and the kickoff. This one returnable. In fact, Johnson cuts in front. Turner, I beg your pardon, and they hand off on a reverse.
Got a wall. They get by.
One man could not get his fella, and Maurice Jackson on the reverse gets knocked out of bounds at the 20-yard line.
Anthony Midget made that play.
Later tonight, 9 o'clock Eastern, second half of our tandem of primetime doubleheaders on ESPN and ESPN2. LSU against Mississippi State. The Tigers, very highly thought of, number 11 ranked in the early season. And the second game, Utah against TCU. That game to be played in Fort Worth, Texas. Doubleheader coming up on ESPN and ESPN2. Ron Franklin, Mike Godfrey, and Mr. Karsten down on the sideline with us tonight. Primetime game starting a little early tonight as the running play for Syracuse goes for absolutely nothing to the right side. Defensively, Danny Wheel was right there to just gum up the whole thing.
There was a concern coming into the season that they lost a lot on defense. Cornell Brown was graduating, but this defensive front had no problems against the Rutgers offense, and so far they've been able to hold Syracuse offense in check.
Well, you see those numbers, they are very impressive as to what they do to you defensively. Loss of a couple. It's 2nd down and 12. McNabb from the shotgun gets his pass away, has it complete. And they're going to give him forward progress to the 25 as Kevin Johnson made the catch. And Mike Tirico, what do you have for us?
Well, Ron, Miami at home struggling. Arizona State up 10 on their way for what would have been a clinching touchdown, but the fumble is picked up by Nick Ward. 85-yard return for a touchdown, extra point block. ASU's lead is 4, but they're driving again at the Miami 7.
Well, you know, we talk. There are normally 1 or 2 of these Saturdays every year, Mike, and it's been one of those kind of strange days so far, hasn't it?
It really has. Miami everybody figured they'd beat Arizona State.
Drills the pass just off the mark, and it's going to be 4th down as Turner, the intended receiver. And now let's keep an eye and see if Virginia Tech tries to come after this punt.
Well, they're an excellent punt blocking team. They've blocked 54 kicks in 115 games under Frank Beamer.
Gets his kick away off the side of his foot, not particularly long. In fact, it hits behind some of the cover men. They run out of the way. And now is going to go dead at the 27-yard line. And let's check in with Adrian Karsten. Adrian?
Ron, just 2 blocks north of Lane Stadium. You're looking across at what used to be the football field here at Virginia Tech back in the days when this was solely an all-male military institution. Now, a lot of those cadets were college football players, too, and some, after graduation, went to fight in World War II, and some, yes, did lose their lives. You'll find those names etched in stone on the columns of this War Memorial Chapel. You know, summertime during two-a-days, there are days when the seniors will bring the freshmen by here and tell them the same story. It's a pretty inspirational place.
Okay, Adrian, thanks for sharing that with us. I'm sure very poignant moments spent at that place. 7-0. Hokies lead. 12 minutes and 38 seconds left until halftime. Pegues in the ball game, and he gets the handoff and comes to the left side. Maybe a gain of 1. Donovan Darius on the stop.
Ron, here's what you have to worry about if you're Syracuse. Paul Pasqualoni. Now another thing to worry about is you just came off the field with a 14-play drive against your defense. Then your offense comes on the field, 3 plays and out. Your defense is back on the field again. And they look tired chasing around Al Clark on that pass play.
Well, Phil Nash is down again. Second time that he has been injured in the ball game. The training staff of Syracuse has come over to attend to him. You see him at the bottom of the screen. Runs out of the picture first as Pegues brings it back into the short side of the field.
Rolled up on his ankle.
Sure did, by his own men. Pons, number 50, coming over to check on his teammate along with Rod Gadsden. Well, if you just can't get enough college football on Saturdays this fall, check out the ESPN game plan on pay-per-view. For just $11.95, you can see up to 10 extra games not normally available in your area. So call your local cable operator or DirecTV anytime right up to kickoff and ask for the ESPN game plan. Check your local listings or USA Today to see what games you can see next Saturday. Up 7-0 our score. Some shockers going on. 3:52 left in that game down in Miami, and Purdue upsetting Notre Dame. Boy, what a win that would be for Joe Tiller. Stanford shocking North Carolina down to Chapel Hill. Florida State just having a cakewalk over Maryland. And this one right here, 52-3. I told you I thought that the upset might happen, but I had no idea it'd be that big, Mike Godfrey.
Well, when you get to 52-3, it's not an upset.
I don't think so. Second down, line to make, is out at the 37. Shy of the 35-yard line as Lamont Pegues gets the carry again. A junior out of Thomasville, North Carolina, 5'9", 209. McIntosh defensively.
Ron, Al Clark just 3 springs ago was tied with Jim Druckenmiller for the quarterback position, so you know he can compete and play. He suffered a sprained ankle. Jim Druckenmiller got ahead of him, and the rest is history. But he is studied as a backup. He's ready to play.
And when we visited with the coaches yesterday, Ricky Bussell, I asked him if they had to back off on their offense because of his inexperience, and he said absolutely not. Look at this play here. 50 to the 45 and finally ridden out of bounds, and it's exactly what he did in that opening ball game when he tucked it and ran for a touchdown. when you play Virginia Tech, now you have to defend the quarterback.
You really do, and he did such a great job of riding the fullback in. And take a look at the quarterback. He rides the fullback. Now you got the defensive end down here closing on that. Now, all of a sudden, Al Clark comes outside. You get your blockers on the other linebackers and secondary players, and the speed of Al Clark got him outside.
You could see 52 in white. It's Moreland Greenwood, the redshirt freshman, who got suckered inside and got completely taken out of the play. He was of no help at all. As Pegues gets the ball, caught from behind, he'll fight his way back to the line of scrimmage as Darius and Gadsden get him, but it was Darius who actually was in hot pursuit and had a hold of his jersey.
Bring in, we talked about the two backs, Oxendine and Parker. And Billy Height, the running back coach, says that Pegues is as good a back as I've coached. So you have some depth there. We talked about it in the open. Virginia Tech loses players, but when you have a good program, there's people waiting in the wings that are very capable. Another long drive against this Syracuse defense.
Yet they're having to spend a lot of time on the field in this first half. You're right. Counter tray, hit in the backfield and knocked down for a loss. Jason Walters was there along with Bullock to stuff that one, and all of a sudden Pegues going the wrong way. It's going to be 3rd down and long for Coach Beamer and his Virginia Tech team.
Yeah, that play just blew up from the start. There had to be a misfire on that play. Too slow developing.
Third down and 10. Parker has not come back into the ballgame. Hawkins has continued to stay in as a flag flies. Doesn't want to throw, going to run it inside the 35, and he's close to the first down. Bullock is there, and let's see what the marker is about. It was thrown just as the ball was snapped. And let's check in with Mike Tirico. Mike?
Around that game over on the Deuce is all even. Oscar Davenport, just like last week, the team more effective, North Carolina, when Davenport replaces Keldorf. Algie Crumpler on the business end of this touchdown pass, all tied at 7.
That's the thing about North Carolina, is that they've got two quarterbacks, Chris Keldorf and Oscar Davenport. I think North Carolina wins this game easily before the night's over. Now, I know you like Stanford and feel like...
No, I'm just saying it's a good upset possibility.
No, an upset possibility. But I think that at home and North Carolina's defense will take over control of that ball game. And I think they'll be all right tonight.
Well, the penalty nullifies that nice run by Clark. So it's now 3rd down and 15 for the first. They need to take it down to the 32 of Syracuse. Clark all kinds of time, and it's knocked down by Pons. And now he's kicking himself because he's thinking, why didn't I try to catch it? I'd have scored a touchdown here instead of knocking it down.
Well, every day in practice, you have drills for your linebackers, your defensive players, your secondary backs, where you have ball drills and you throw them the football so that they're used to making that catch. He looked like he had 2 bricks there in his hands right there to catch that football.
He did indeed. Jimmy Kibble is in to punt. So they had the ball a long time, and they come after him. And he goes down, and they're not going to throw a flag. Good acting job there. Syracuse going to have to run away from this, and it's going to be touched dead at the 1-foot line.
Well, Ron, I don't know about that, whether he reacted or not. He looks like he got hit pretty good.
Well, we'll ponder that as Coach Beamer is pondering right now. 9:27 left until halftime. Still.
I met this girl in Venice. She was like an angel. It was only one day. It was a day I wanted to remember forever. It was a day I didn't load the film right. I should have had a Kodak Advantix camera with easy drop-in film loading.
Step 1, have a plan for business, and then carry it out.
How's 4 o'clock sound?
4 o'clock's good for me. I'll see you then. Good to see you.
Appreciate you coming out.
Thanks.
Introducing used vehicles reconditioned, warranted, and ready for life. GM certified.
Is that a new Big King? No, it's a bag, Coach. No, in the bag, son. Yes, sir, it is.
Well, what's a smart kid like you doing sitting on the bench? Get in there and play quarterback.
Really?
Like taking candy from a baby.
The new Big King from Burger King, flame broiled with 75% more beef. It's like a Big Mac, except it's bigger and tastes better. And right now, you can get one for just 99 cents.
Coach said I could play halfback.
Next Saturday night, Tigers Tango in Baton Rouge. Auburn LSU, next Saturday night at 7:30, only on ESPN.
Ron, after further review of the kicking situation, I defer to you because looks like Jimmy Kibble should get the Charlton Heston Award here for. Yeah, he's spinning all over the place, but
he was trying to find somebody to bump into.
It was a good call.
That's a good job, Jimmy. It was a good job of acting, but Buddy Ward did not go for it, and the officials, after looking at that replay, looked better for it as well. McNabb straight ahead, and he will get just a little room to breathe. Williams is down at the bottom.
You know, in the open, we talked about Syracuse averaging over 30 points a game on offense. The best defense Virginia Tech has tonight is those long drives because they've been able to keep Donovan McNabb over on the sidelines.
Yep, that's a good point. Mike, do you take a chance here on like a second down and do a play action, try to go on top?
I do, but Virginia Tech is a very dangerous team to do that against because the 8-man front and the blitz.
And we'll see what the average is on first down that they're allowing. And there are a lot of people close to the line of scrimmage. Straight ahead with the carry. Maybe the 5-yard line is D. Brown. And that's the end of the way. Now it's third down, and they need to take it to the 11 to get the first down and hold on to it, or that defense has to come back out on the field.
Yeah, and that's what an 8-man front defensive football team wants you to do. Go to 2 tight ends and try to run it against them because they've got you outnumbered. But they also get you in a position down here that if you get caught back in that end zone, you're not going to have a lot of time. Bud Foster, the defensive coordinator, played at Murray State when I was coaching there. He's an outstanding player, and he's doing a great job as a coach.
He has done a nice job here, hasn't he? Third down. See if they can make the 11-yard line. Otherwise, the defense is coming right back out. Gets his pitch away. Turns the corner. They'll have the first down. Boy, that was big. Is Kyle McIntosh, the junior out of Cheshire, Connecticut, will turn the corner, and the most important thing is the defense gets at least 3 more downs before they have to come back on the field.
They've got a little room now to open up first down, maybe with a throw. Good blocking on that play. A good call by Kevin Rogers, the offensive coordinator. Safe option play. Donovan McNabb taking it down the line of scrimmage and then getting it kicked out and on the corner.
You know whose name we have not mentioned tonight is Spotwood. But you've got to get him the ball 5 or 6 times a game because anytime he gets it, he can go. Whistle. This one's going to be stopped before it starts. It looks as though it's going to be procedure against Syracuse.
Good ball. False start. Movement prior to the snap. 5 yards.
Well, for the 3rd straight year now, Burger King will recognize outstanding student athletes through the $1 million Burger King College Football Scholarship Program. Tonight's Burger King students of the game are from Syracuse, tackle Mark Banowitz. He's a sophomore finance major. He's earned a 4-point GPA last semester. And from Virginia Tech, it's sophomore Anthony Midget, a 3.07 in university studies. And our congratulations to those 2 fine young men. First down, and you see a shotgun formation. McNabb going to go on top, looking for Spotwood, and he made the catch. Good heavens, he went up over the top of him and took it away at the 39. And that's the guy I'm talking about.
Ron,
you got to get him in the offense.
You just mentioned it earlier, and I was going to mention that he had 4 plays of over 50 yards in the last 2 games, so he's a big play receiver. Lauren Johnson plays this pretty well as a corner. They've got a good speed receiver out, and you try to bump him out of bounds. He tries to lean into him, but a great leap by the receiver, Quentin Spotwood.
What the Virginia Tech coaches are upset about is that grab of the jersey right there. But truth of the matter is, Lauren Johnson had already bumped him about 5 times, so kind of made it a moot point, didn't it, Mike?
There's a lot of that in college football. They don't have the same rule as the NFL does.
McNabb drills it, had him open, and Turner couldn't hold on to the football, like he mistimed his jump.
Well, I agree with you. He looked like he couldn't find the football when he came out of his break. You always look for a receiver that to get low, come out of your break, and get your head around to the quarterback. Didn't seem to be able to pick up the football there.
Turner came to Syracuse as a quarterback, and because of that crowded situation there, was turned into a wide receiver, opened the season with that kick return against Wisconsin, and showed his special teams ability and also exceptional speed.
They have a lot of quarterbacks. Kevin Johnson moved to other positions.
McNabb 3 of 6 for 50 yards. The running play comes back into the short side of the field, though, and McIntosh hammered down at the 43. Jamel Smith there defensively.
Syracuse has not been able to slow down the linebackers of Virginia Tech. Now, Donovan McNabb's ability to get outside of this defense has got to be a worry for Bud Foster, the defensive coordinator, because he's so dangerous when he breaks contain.
Is it just my impression? Am I wrong? But he seems like all of a sudden that he's more in the flow of the football game than he was earlier.
I think the time that they've had on the sideline, the coaches have been able to tell them a little bit about what Virginia Tech's trying to do to him defensively, and they're ready.
Option play. Pitch back to McIntosh. Gets a block. Turns the corner and is out of bounds at midfield, and that will be enough for the Syracuse first down. And credit Aaron Lewis with an outstanding block on the play.
McIntosh is forced out of bounds by number 99.
Again, being able to get to the sideline with the option. Donovan McNabb coming down the sideline, but look at this block right here now. This is the block
Aaron Lewis.
Aaron Lewis puts on that allows the first down.
You can see it was Engelberger who came across, and the good defense will make that quarterback make his decision quickly. Then the rest of the defense reacts.
You're exactly right. They do not want to let Donovan McNabb get down there with a run situation. They want him to pitch the football.
Option to the other side as he reverses it out. McNabb tries to turn the corner and got tripped up. Prioleau got him, but I think it was Smith also who got a hand on his ankle and kind of had him staggering a little bit.
Put this in your watch pocket right here. Now that they're starting to run the option, Syracuse is known in the past 10 years to run the option. All of a sudden, Donovan McNabb backs up and throws a post pattern down the middle, because all of a sudden your safeties, linebackers try to fill on the option, and that becomes a great opportunity for a big play.
Well, there are 2 guys out to the right who are very capable of taking it there quickly. Spotwood or Johnson or Turner. Pitches it back, though. This is D. Brown. And Brown maybe has a couple as he'll give him the 44. Now decision time. 3rd down, 4 yards. Do you try to throw the football against this 8-man front, or do you try to run it?
I don't think you run it. I think that they've proven that they're having trouble running the football, unless they catch them with a draw or trap or something quick up inside.
Kevin Rogers, you could see just a moment ago up in the box, the offensive coordinator. There he is right there. George DeLeon headed for the West Coast, now coaching with the Chargers, and Kevin took over this year. 3 of 6 3rd down conversions. So let's see if they come up with it. Crowd comes to life. 7-0. Hokies lead, under 5 to play until halftime. Option back into the middle. McNabb's not going to have anything. It was John Ellenberger who came up and grabbed him with the jersey and slung him down. The sophomore out of Springfield, Virginia. He was a walk-on, Mike. Engelberger had a great game against Rutgers. Had 9 tackles in that one.
Yeah, you talked about him being a walk-on. He thought about entering the Army. Came here to play football. Put on 47 pounds. Pretty good defensive player.
Fair catch is called for and made by Scales at the 17. So it's a 29-yard kick. And let's take the timeout with it. 4:17 until halftime. We'll be right back.
This is ESPN Game Plan. your ticket to 14 weeks of college football with up to 10 regular season games every Saturday.
Am I in heaven?
No, but you're close. This is DirecTV Sports.
I love the SEC. I'll take the Pac-10 any day.
Why not take them all?
Cool.
We're talking up to 100 games for just $89. All you have to do is call 1-800-GET-SPORTS.
It's less than $1 a game. It's not the money. It's the pride, the tradition. Hey, it's a deal.
And when you order, you'll get a free subscription to On, the official magazine from DirecTV Sports.
That's cool.
Then get it by calling now and ordering ESPN Game Plan. You'll get games from major conferences, including the Big Ten, Pac-10, Big 12, SEC, ACC, WAC, and Big East, all for $89. ESPN Game Plan on DirecTV Sports. Choose your game.
Tomorrow, all that stands between Cal Ripken and the O's and a division crown is one last bomber attack. Yankees-Orioles, the Sunday night baseball game of the week. Tomorrow at 8, only on ESPN.
Now, as we're back here at Virginia Tech, one more note on John Engelberger. I say you have to put a huge asterisk by that play, Mike, because that's gigantic. If he turns the corner right there, he might pick up the first down. Wonderful article on this youngster in the paper yesterday. They say he blushes when you even speak to him, and he does not want attention. But the way he's playing football, he better get used to attention.
And he doesn't like to be interviewed.
That's what it said. Well, now here comes an option play by Clark, and he is smothered by Pons. Antoine Pons just jumped on his back and rode him down. So now this is successive plays by Pons from that Syracuse defense. The last time he knocked out a pass, almost had an interception. And watch this one here.
Well, it's a straight down the line option, so there's no fake to hold the middle linebacker. Antoine Pons was not blocked, just scraped off, made the tackle on Al Clark.
Senior out of Jacksonville, 6'1", 252 pounds. Glad to say Phil Nash is back in the ballgame. Number 10, he was injured on that last series. Clark, all kinds of time, and now runs into the defender and is knocked out by Jason Walters. Walters had just broken free from his man, and Clark ran right into him. And let's check in with Adrian Carson.
Well, with the results of a play like that, Ron, Clark would love to have Marcus Parker in that backfield, but he will not have him the rest of this half and potentially the rest of the game, because earlier in this quarter, quite early as a matter of fact, he took a shot to the outside of his right knee. There's no ligament damage from what they can tell now, but he has had an operation on his knee in the past. He is unable at this point, Ron and Mike, to put weight on that. They're going to take another look at him at halftime.
Adrian, thank you. We were wondering why they had not been able to get him back in. We knew that they were observing that right knee. Hope that everything's okay for the young player. Clark gets his pass away. Oxendine, did he trap it? No, he made the catch, and he'll take it to the 25. Not enough for the first down, though. Well, college football next Saturday on ESPN, 12:30 Eastern Time. The Baylor Bears head to Ann Arbor to face Charles Woodson at number 13 Michigan. Winners over Colorado today. And then at prime time, Mike, Adrian, and I will be in Baton Rouge as Auburn comes calling against the LSU Tigers.
The long snapper, as you mentioned, Shane Beamer, number 25. And the rule not hitting the long snapper, it helps O'Shane.
Ball is going to go dead at around the 27-yard line with 2 minutes and 7 seconds. And let's check in with Mike Tirico.
Well, Ron, Notre Dame trying to mount a comeback. They're going to go in and score a touchdown here to make it 21-16. Ron Paulus, the dump to Autry Denson. But watch the spike. Called for celebration, so they couldn't go for 2. They had to kick the extra point, and the lead is 4. And Purdue just recovered the onside kick.
So Syracuse gets the ball down 7-0 with 2:07 to play until halftime. Offensively on the sideline, Virginia Tech's offensive coordinator visiting with their ball club. That was the worst series that they have had at a time.
Started off with the option play. Bad play. Pons making the tackle.
McNabb gets hit. Ball, he held on to it. I don't see how. Corey Moore took him apart from behind. Second sack by Virginia Tech tonight.
Well, you talked, Ron, about defense. They've scored 24 defensive touchdowns here under Frank Beamer because of the 8-man front and being able to make plays like this. Corey Moore just putting his helmet in the back of Donovan McNabb.
I don't see how he held on to the football, Mike.
With basketball, big hands.
Yes, that's exactly right.
Basketball.
That's exactly right. 1:29 and counting left until halftime.
How about Spotwood here if they can get it off?
He zings it. Oh, that is a great pass to Darrell Daniel on the sideline. And right there, McNabb shows you what he has as far as an arm. I mean, that thing is on just a rope for 15 yards.
Yeah, he's an outstanding quarterback. He watched the Minnesota-North Carolina losses over the summer. Adrian was talking about he wants to be a leader. He wants to be better. 4 out of 7 for 62 yards, but they've been unable to make the big play. They're a big play offensive football team. And as you mentioned earlier, their big play receivers, Clinton Spotwood.
Got the time in that one. I think he threw it into the ground on purpose. When he looked up and saw that Kevin Johnson, the defender, was moving by him, and he didn't want to get it picked up. Prioleau was there.
Well, they're used to cheering for their defense here.
Well, let's see if they come after him also. Very quickly, Syracuse gets the special team on, and this is a long driving spiral down to the 20. Scales will take it to the 35-yard line. And the clock shows 59 seconds left to play until halftime. And let's check in with Mike Tirico.
All right, Ron, coming up, it's the Buick Century halftime report. Purdue has just scored again. They lead Notre Dame 28-17 in the final minute. Miami in trouble against Arizona State. We'll show you how that game ended up. And Colorado-Michigan, the big game when the weekend started. Chris Lee and Kirk are in Ann Arbor, and join us on the Buick Century halftime report. See you then.
Okay, Mike.
You know, Mike's glued to this game now. He has an interest in this ball game, as he does all the games around the country.
Well, the situation is 59 seconds left until halftime. Hokies on top 7-0, and that was a very big stop against the Syracuse offense just now. Flag is down, pass well overthrown up at the 45.
Flag on the play.
Not sure if Virginia Tech had enough people on the line of scrimmage there.
Well, tomorrow night, after the Yankees and the Orioles battle on Sunday Night Baseball, stay tuned at 11 o'clock for the all-new expanded edition of ESPN Sports Center. Dan Patrick is joined by Kenny Mayne for a full 90 minutes of coverage from Week 3 of the NFL, the baseball pennant races, and a full breakdown of the week's new ESPN USA Today Top 25 Coaches Poll. The Sunday Night Sports Center, now 90 minutes long.
Ron, Syracuse is just happy to rush 3 players right now and just cover the football field with just 53 seconds to go. They'll just put token pressure on Al Clark.
Take it to Oxendine, and they throw the screen back to the short side of the field, and Gildersleeve, the ball is overthrown. Gildersleeve involved in an interesting play last week, or 2 weeks ago, against Rutgers, where he caught a pass similar to that, and he caught it on one knee and stood up and realized they hadn't whistled the play dead and went 85 yards for a touchdown.
Well, we saw that play, and we knew that he had his knee down. Ron, here's an interesting thing for Virginia Tech. They may want to run the ball here. They're in a position now, 2nd and 15 to go. They might want to run some clock here. Not to punt the football.
In the shotgun, Clark's going to run it. Well, we got a hold that was called right in the middle. Gadsden's going to make the tackle, but one of the interior linemen had grabbed onto that defensive lineman, and he was waltzing him to downtown Blacksburg. So they're going to have to take a walk back. 40 seconds now until halftime.
Now you just think about killing the clock here.
Hold it on the offense. Be a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Replay, 2nd down.
Ron, I think the hold that you saw was number 64, Gennaro Di Napoli. There he is.
Yes. And he's got a special interest in beating Syracuse because he's from Cazenovia, New York. So now it's going to be second down. They're going to take the ball all the way out to the 45-yard line. And a timeout has been called. We'll take it with them. Timeout, 7-0. Virginia Tech on top.
It's in a jar, in the car, in a drawer, on the floor. It's all over the place. So where's your loose change? Well, it's time to cash in those coins with the Money Wrapper, the automated coin machine that sorts, stacks, counts, and wraps your loose change in one easy step. Just place the coin wrappers in the Money Wrapper and drop in a handful of loose change. The Money Wrapper switches on automatically, spinning and separating the coins, then sending them down the chute to be sorted. Pennies, nickels, dimes, and quarters all drop into their own removable tubes at a rate of hundreds of coins per minute, automatically stacked, counted, and all wrapped up. When you're done, your Money Wrapper shuts off by itself. And when you're ready to cash in, simply pull the lever and start piling up those neat rolls of counted wrapped coins. So don't throw your loose change away. Get it growing today. The Money Wrapper. It makes perfect sense.
Call 1-800-207-4343 to order your Money Wrapper for $24.95 plus $5.95 shipping, or send check or money order to the address on your screen.
Hi, Chuck. How's business?
Okay.
Hey, what's on your screen?
QuickBooks accounting software from the makers of Quicken.
Yeah, I really don't have time to learn new software.
If you can write a check, you can use QuickBooks. Answer a few questions and it tailors itself to your business. Create invoices like these. It has accounts payable, accounts receivable, payroll, and inventory, and over 60 customizable reports that put you in control.
I'm going to try it.
Nothing to lose.
Call 1-800-544-1000.
So we're back with 40 seconds showing on the clock until halftime. You can see some of the overflow crowd here in Blacksburg tonight to see the Hokies play. We mentioned 21 of their last 23 games they have won as Oxendine gets the call and he'll take it out of the 30. And now they just want to run the clock down and get to the locker room. And all of a sudden Syracuse trying to call a timeout, and they do stop it with 29 seconds left.
Well, it goes back to what you said earlier. Special teams, both teams have had problems, special teams, so why not try to make them punt the football one time, see if you can block it.
So we'll take it with them. 7-0. Hokies lead. 29 ticks until halftime. We'll be right back.
For generations, Syracuse University has offered those seeking a higher education the opportunity to share in a rich variety of educational and professional experiences. This timeless vision of learning, commitment, and success has been shared by Syracuse students past and present. Emphasis on the core values of quality, caring, diversity, service, and innovation makes Syracuse the nation's leading student-centered research university.
Fortunatissima per verità, la 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 la, fortunatissima per verità, la 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 la.
Frank Baber on the sideline talking with his charges. It is a third down, and they need to take it all the way out to the 45-yard line, which is about 13 yards downfield to hold onto the football. Syracuse would dearly love to get one more opportunity, and they go with an option play. It's Oxendine. Flag on the backside of the play. Oxendine still running. He ate up 10 seconds with this run.
Well, I saw a hold on that side over there toward the Syracuse bench, and I'm sure they were yelling. There's a late flag over there. Block in the back or a hold.
On the offense.
Defensive back.
Holding on the offense. Decline.
Here's the option play. There's the hold right here. It's a takedown.
He could be credited for a tackle. That's Gildersleeve.
great Gildersleeve.
Yeah. I asked him if he knew about that show. It's well beyond his generation. And he said he had a grammar school teacher who told him about that radio show, The Great Gildersleeve. Now let's see if Jimmy Kibble can get this one away or if they come after him. We are at halftime. So as they head to the locker room, our score, the Hokies of Virginia Tech 7 and the Orangemen of Syracuse nothing. Now with the Buick Century halftime report, let's join Mike Tirico. Mike.
Okay, Ron and Mike, so this is a Syracuse team that scored 30 or more points in their last 14 ball games, shut out in the first half by Virginia Tech. As mentioned, the Buick Century halftime report is coming up. What a wild day. A big day for the Pac-10, a big day for Purdue, and a big day for Arizona State. All that, plus what happened in the big house. Charles Woodson and the Wolverines against Colorado, and UCLA with a big statement in Austin. Scores and highlights up next.
All right, let me see those game faces.
We need love.
You're out here to play baseball, right?
We need encouragement.
Supersonic speed, Mach 2.4.
We need inspiration.
We need rides!
Introducing used vehicles reconditioned, warranted, and ready for life. GM certified.
So I got off the elevator and said, what is this, the 7th inning stretch? American Express.
Lovely.
Let's do the whole country. I'm a little light on the lingo.
Get a full gander down the front with me.
All right.
We've got Cornish pasties, bangers and mash, bubble and sweet, and lovely toad in the hour.
That was a wicked googly. So I took the butchers up the apples and pears and said, what is this, the tea interval? All over the world, you can do more with the American Express card.
This halftime report is presented by Buick Century.
It is a 7-0 Virginia Tech lead over Syracuse at the half in the Big East. Welcome to the Buick Century halftime report. What a crazy day this turned out to be. Yardstick Saturday, a chance for teams that, well, really couldn't get a measure of to measure themselves against other opponents. Notre Dame didn't look all that great in the opener against Georgia Tech. Maybe it was nerves and butterflies. Chance to settle down against a Purdue team that lost to Toledo first time out this year. Jim Coletto, the offensive coordinator at Notre Dame, the former Purdue head coach. Purdue's offense moving along. Billy Dickens to Edwin Watson, 28 yards, touchdown, and the Boilermakers start to believe. No, it set up a Watson touchdown run, I should say. 7-0 Purdue. Now second quarter. Purdue's lead is 14-3. Autry Denton with an answer, a 16-yard touchdown run. Notre Dame's back within 4, but it stays that way to the fourth quarter. Key fumble here. Adrian Beasley the return for the touchdown, and Purdue goes up 21-10. Notre Dame scored. Onside kick was recovered by the Boilermakers, who go in and score the clinching touchdown. Notre Dame, a 3-touchdown favorite, loses by 11 at West Lafayette. The Irish had won the last 11 meetings between these two teams. The 400th regular season game at the Orange Bowl. Miami taking on Arizona State. ASU up 10 going in for the clinching score, but Michael Martin fumbles. Nick Ward breaks the tackle, and Nick Ward is gone. An 85-yard touchdown made it 16-12. The extra point was blocked. It didn't matter. Arizona State took the ball and just shoved it down Miami's throat in the fourth quarter. J.R. Redmond here from a yard out as Arizona State closes down Miami. Only the second time in 22 years the Canes have lost a home season opener. Check this out. Rushing yards. Arizona State first 3 quarters, 90 yards. In the fourth quarter, 142. ASU still for real. The big game of the big house. Colorado and Michigan. Tough day for Rick Neuheisel. Had to chew out John Hessler a couple of times, but QB couldn't get it going. Pressured all day. Challenges Charles Woodson in the All-America corner for the Maize and Blue. Comes up with the INT, and Michigan turns it back around after a big pass to Jeremy Tooman on 2nd and goal. Chris Floyd, 7-0 Michigan. Now 10-0 in the 3rd. Brian Greasy was solid to Chris Howard in the end zone. 17-0. Greasy, 21 of 28, 258, and a couple of touchdowns. Hessler's disaster continues. The interception here, one of 4 interceptions of Hessler by the Michigan defense. Wolverines, 426 yards of total offense. For the 5th consecutive time, Michigan takes on a top 10 opponent and wins impressively 27-3. More on that game with Chris Leonkirk in Ann Arbor in a bit. Going on over on the Deuce, Stanford and North Carolina. 2 ranked teams going at it in Chapel Hill. Troy Walters is the Stanford punt returner. They pick up a couple of nice blocks and a very solid return. 50 yards. So Stanford's offense gets its hands on the ball for the first time in the game in great field position. They take advantage. Chad Hutchison, John Ritchie, 11-yard score. The Cardinal leading 7-0. Oscar Davenport comes in, replaces Chris Keldorf, as normally happens early in the game. And for the 2nd straight week, Davenport, the more effective quarterback. Jason Peace for 11. Then Davenport to Octavius Barnes for 12. Same drive, just flip sides. Now 2nd quarter, Davenport to Algie Crumpler. You may remember his brother, Carl Lester, was a star with East Carolina. That tied it at 7. Then moments ago, Jonathan Linton in from a couple of yards out on 3rd down. Add the extra point. The Tar Heels lead 14-7. 18 seconds left, first half. Game on the Deuce. Stanford does have the ball at the North Carolina 49-yard line. Oh, my goodness. What happened in Austin today? James Brown, the Texas quarterback, warmed up, couldn't play because of his injury. So it was a tough day for Richard Walton. Jason Brown and Damon Smith, the sack, the fumble, the Bruins recover. They're up 10-0, and they just keep pouring it on momentum-wise. Cade McNown on the very next play. Little one to Skip Hicks. Watch Skip Hicks beat the linebacker. It's a total mismatch down there. Carries a tackler the final 5 yards. You can't tackle him by his helmet. 17-0 UCLA. Later in the 2nd quarter, McNown on his way to a Bruin record day for a QB. Great play fake. The tight end Mike Grieve. 5 touchdown passes in the first half for Cade McNown. That is correct. 66-3. That is the 2nd worst loss in Texas football history. You have to go back to 1904 when they lost 68-0 to Chicago to find a loss this bad. What a performance by UCLA as they bounce back. Much more as we continue on the Buick Century halftime report. Chris Leonkirk join us in a bit. This is the only touchdown of the first half. Al Clark to Shawn Scales. The Hokies lead the Qs by 7.
Epcot and Buick invite you to discover the ride of the century. It's all new. It's fun for 6. And for your chance to experience it, go to your Buick dealer and test drive the luxurious new Century. Get a Disney video pack and enter to win a Walt Disney World family vacation, where you can discover Test Track at Epcot, the new ride inspired by the General Motors Proving Grounds. It's also the ride of the century. Discover a little luxury in this century at your Buick dealer today.
Some of the most admired cars are owned by the guys who know cars best. ASE certified master mechanics. And the #1 brand of motor oil top mechanics use is Valvoline. People who know use Valvoline.
I needed a little tune-up before heading to camp, so I decided to look up some of the fastest guys in the game, thinking we could run some drills.
Gee, Mr. Namath, I'm sure my dad would love to come over and play.
But it would just be two-hand touch, right?
Wow, you're still alive?
Unfortunately, I couldn't find any of their numbers. So I put on my new low-to-the-ground Zoom Air shoes and went out back with some of the neighborhood kids.
Oh, no, not again!
Still got a few bullets left in the old gun.
St. Louis will be the setting as the top seniors on tour shoot for over $1 million in prize money. The Boone Valley Classic. Coverage continues tomorrow at 4, only on ESPN.
This halftime report is presented by Buick Century. Discover a little luxury in this century.
Virginia Tech leads our game 7-0. They're at the half in Chapel Hill. North Carolina leading Stanford 14-7. Central Florida, they played at Ole Miss and they lost by 1. They played at South Carolina, they lost by a couple. All right, good tries, guys, but now they're going to Nebraska. They'll probably get their heads handed to them and pick up a nice paycheck. Boy, were they competitive. Central Florida hanging tough with Nebraska. The very athletic Dante Culpepper, the quarterback, to Mark Nosak down to the 2. Mike Grant got it in from there. Central Florida led at the half, 17-14. But the black shirt defense shows up. Jason Peter gets the sack. Tied at 17 in the third. Freshman high back Perel Buckhalter scampers in for the Cornhusker touchdown. Finally, Nebraska took the lead, and they were up for good. Despite trailing 3 times in the first half, they bounced back to beat Central Florida by just 14. Florida State, 559 yards of total offense, easily over Maryland. Penn State gave up the first touchdown, then blew out Temple. Shafi Fields, 2 reverses for touchdowns. Washington sluggish early, but they come back to easily handle San Diego State. Washington, Nebraska next week. Washington State, conference game in the Pac-10 against USC this evening. 1st and 10, Washington State at their own 44. Ryan Leaf, Michael Black beats a tackle, 36-yard gain. Later in the drive, it is Leaf to Shawn McWashington, 4-yard touchdown pass. Cougars have added another one. They lead USC 14-0. USC looking to avoid the 0-2 start. ACC big game of unbeatens. North Carolina State Clemson earlier today. State the early lead, 7-3. Jamie Barnett back, hit by Tony Planton, and Raheem Abdullah goes the other way. 74-yard touchdown. Clemson takes a 10-7 lead. The Wolfpack is still down 3 in the 4th, and you Syracuse fans know, don't count the pack out. Barnett, top side, looking Torrey Holt, got him. 38-yard score, NC State back on top. $1:21 left. Nalon Green, gutsy on this final drive, slowed down by cramps. It's Brian Wofford to the 5. They set it up for Matt Padgett. The 20-yard field goal is his 4th of the day and wins the game. Nalon Green, 250 yards passing. He had 300 last week. It's the first time ever that Clemson has had over 250 yards passing in back-to-back games. Clemson unbeaten, Florida State next week. Ohio State fumbled 4 times, but Bowling Green only had 169 yards of total offense. Buckeyes move on. What a day for Iowa's Tavian Banks. 314 yards, 4 touchdowns. He broke Ed Podolak's school record. Michigan State looking real good. They go to South Bend next week. Northwestern, nice new remodeled stadium, 3/4 full. Brian Musso, a key 4th down catch, keeps the game-winning drive alive. Louisville over Illinois. Mike Cloud, 211 rushing yards for the injured Omari Walker. BC, off the loss to Temple, surprises West Virginia. Like 9 days ago against Virginia, Auburn's defense keeps the Tigers in it for the first half. The offense gets enough in the second half to beat Ole Miss by 10. What a wild day of college football. For more on that and the Colorado-Michigan game, back to Ann Arbor, and here's Chris Fowler. Chris?
Mike, thank you. The big house became a woodshed. Michigan took Colorado out behind it like no team except Nebraska has in the last decade. One of Michigan's best performances in years. They scored all the points they would need on their 7th play.
Well, the key for Michigan today was obvious. Stop that running game and then allow your defense to take over the football game. Michigan did a good job of mixing up their coverages. They had John Hessler thoroughly confused. The thing about Michigan, the trademark, you go in as a quarterback to face them, you're going to face 15 different coverages. You don't expect that in week 1. They were in mid-season form. The big key now for Michigan, they've done this in the past, looked very good. Now they have to continue to do this because in the past, the last 2 or 3 years, they've gone downhill. They play Baylor. They better not overlook them. They need to come out just as inspired and play good football.
Well, Kirk, this is the 4th year in a row I've seen Colorado. This was the least impressive physical-looking Colorado team I've seen since I've been watching them. Michigan was good, but I'm not so sure Colorado's as good as they were in the past when it comes to that pow, hitting those people. They weren't as strong.
John Hessler must rebuild his confidence. Brian Greasy looked great. Bowl Alliance takes a big hit. Now Colorado, Texas, Notre Dame, Miami going down. Florida or Tennessee will lose. Carolina or Florida State will lose. There are not many teams left.
Yeah, but the Pac-10's leaf. And I'm telling you what, Pac-10 has really impressed me. Arizona State, no flute over Miami. UCLA bombed Texas. Washington is a great football team. Stanford's playing North Carolina. There's going to be some great games in November in the Pac-10. I still think it's the 2nd best conference now in the country behind the SEC.
You know what? One team you're forgetting, Notre Dame. Today, shocked by Purdue. They play Michigan State next week and Michigan the following. Notre Dame could be 1-3 before it's all said and done.
Stock up Big Ten after a terrible start there. A strong, strong day. Quentin Spotwood in Syracuse battling the Hokies in the first half. Mike Tirico has more in the National Carnival Halftime Report coming up.
What is anger? What is
in the game. WCW Fall Brawl. Live Sunday, September 14th, 7 p.m. Eastern, only $27.95 on Direct Ticket.
Back on the Buick Century halftime report. Another big day for Randy Moss of Marshall. 3 touchdowns. This is the second of 3. Going through the secondary of Kent. 70-yard score here. 18 career games, 36 touchdowns, 216 yards today. Marshall big over Kent. Ron Dane is back, an 80-yard touchdown run on the first play of the game. He's over 100 yards. Wisconsin leads San Jose State. After Syracuse, Virginia Tech, our primetime doubleheader will take us down to Starkville, where Mississippi State always plays tough, taking on Herb Tyler and LSU. They're without the good running back, Kevin Falk. That's right after Syracuse, Virginia Tech on ESPN. Much more to do. We'll continue after this.
Epcot and Buick invite you to discover the ride of the century. It's all new. It's fun for 6. And for your chance to experience it, go to your Buick dealer and test drive the luxurious new Century. Get a Disney video pack and enter to win a Walt Disney World family vacation, where you can discover Test Track at Epcot, the new ride inspired by the General Motors Proving Grounds. It's also the ride of the century. Discover a little luxury in this century at your Buick dealer today.
No, I'm not into college football. What? What? Not into college football? Well, let me tell you something. College football is Saturday afternoon. It's crisp fall days. It's the sun reaching its zenith, warming your body paint till it crackles. It's 79,000 hearts beating as one. Would you please take it down a notch so I can talk to the lad? Thank you. I want to get you to that game. I want to talk to you about football.
Welcome back to the Century by Buick halftime report. Let's update some of those games we're talking about. I told you Ron Dane, first play of the game. We need to show you the big guy back after the stinger injury that really slowed him since the second half of the Syracuse game. Untouched by a San Jose State defender. 80-yard touchdown. Ron Dane, get in there, big fella. A couple of touchdown runs and keepers by the quarterback Mike Samuel since, so Wisconsin leads by 11 over San Jose State. Also tonight, Kansas State ranked in the top 25, a punt return, their touchdown leading over Ohio. And USC has just scored. It is now 14-6 in the second. A Southern Cal touchdown set up by a long pass from John Fox to Billy Miller, but they missed the extra point. Some MAC scores for you. Toledo, an 8-point lead over Eastern Michigan. Indiana, Cameron's team was impressive in Chapel Hill last week, leading over Ball State. And Minnesota, a 4-point lead over Iowa State. These teams played a long time ago, a long-standing rivalry. Western Michigan, an 8-point win over Northern Illinois. And Navy beating up on Rutgers. While Pittsburgh won today out of the Big East, winning at Houston. A bad day for Rutgers. Second half from Blacksburg coming up next.
Clint Eastwood in the suspense thriller Absolute Power on DirecTV.
The only thing more shocking than the murder is the identity of the murderer.
He saw nothing. He's a burglar. Who's gonna believe him?
And the only man who knows the truth.
Who is he?
It's Luther Whitney.
The man's a thief who witnessed a murder.
Is the prime suspect.
Not dealing with a fool here, are we?
Clint Eastwood.
I'm about to run from you.
Absolute Power on Direct Ticket, only on DirecTV.
Ghosts of Mississippi is now on Direct Ticket. 30 years ago, a brutal murder shocked the nation, and a killer remained free. Now, one man is willing to risk everything.
My car's been vandalized, my son's been in a fight, and I've been called every ugly thing there is by every racist in the state of Mississippi.
To do the right thing. Alec Baldwin.
Find him guilty simply because it is right, and Lord knows it is time.
Ghosts of Mississippi on Direct Ticket, only on DirecTV.
Virginia Tech is celebrating 125 years dedicated to the discovery, teaching, and application of knowledge. Today, Tech students come from all 50 states and more than 100 countries. And here, most will find their life's work, nurtured by faculty representing the finest in their fields, who teach students the skills they will need to make a difference tomorrow. Virginia Tech, a university putting knowledge to work.
7-0 our score. The Hokies leading at halftime, and that score came very early in the second quarter. That has been the extent of it. And I have to say, Mike, that when Parker went out for Virginia Tech, their offense lulled a little bit, and I wonder if they're going to get it back in the second half. I think he's huge for them.
Good point. Remember, Conrad's out for Syracuse, too, and they've only got 2 yards, I believe, out of their fullback rushing the football. But it's been a defensive first half. And you look at Al Clark, the quarterback that's waited his time here at Virginia Tech. He's been able to run the football and throw the football. Big first down here where he was running the option, picked up good field position. Had a lot of time on his pass to hit Scales on the post pattern for the only score of this ball game.
Well, how about the numbers for this gentleman? Donovan McNabb, 4 of 8, 62 yards, 7 yards rushing, or 7 rushes, I should say, for 11 yards.
And you credit the Virginia Tech defense. They have not allowed Donovan McNabb a big play.
So we'll see if he can get it on track as you look at the first 30 minutes. And any big surprises there, Mike?
No, I think it's been an even football game. The field position, Virginia Tech won it most of the first quarter and into the second half, and then they let it slip away a little bit. But they owned the football. They owned the field position. They had a 7-0 lead.
Virginia Tech won the toss to start the ball game. They deferred, so they get it here to open in the third quarter. And the kick is going to come down to Scales at the 1-yard line. Crosses the 25 and is out of bounds at the 29.
Virginia Tech, Ron, in the first quarter had success running right at Syracuse. Let's see if they come out and try to establish the run again. Of course, you mentioned a big point. When you lose a player like Marcus Parker, that takes a little bit out of your running game.
He had given them so much continuity, and in fact, they had not used him running the ball as much tonight as we really had anticipated. But he does a great job as a blocker as well. And as they start the second half, Oxendine gets the ball. He's going to take it for 6 yards before Darius stops him. And we see that number 42, Cullen Hawkins, is opening in the place of Parker. So we would assume that we're not going to see him in the second half.
Right, again, going right at the Syracuse defense. And when your safety, Donovan Darius, has to start making those plays, then you're not holding up front.
Virginia Tech always with the no huddle. They don't do the hurry up with it, but the linemen enjoy the fact they don't have to go back to the huddle every time, as Oxendine is hit by Bullock, and he's going to lose a yard in the play, and it'll be third down at about 5.
Good play by Keith Bullock, number 33. I think they had some line movement down inside, freed up Keith Bullock to make that tackle.
Well, when you look at this right here, actually at the pace of this ball game, that could be in jeopardy. And also, so could the string by Syracuse. Syracuse has gone 14 straight games that they've scored at least 30 points.
Since the North Carolina game last year.
Rides the running back. He gives it to him. Hawkins breaks it big across midfield, and he's down to the 47-yard line with Poles holding on, but it's a gain of 18.
Boy, good ball handling by Al Clark. Waited to the last second to leave that ball in the hands of the fullback, Cullen Hawkins. Everybody outside, the corners, the safeties, all thought Al Clark had that football.
Mike, I want to get you to comment on what happened at the end of the first half, because Paul Pasqualoni was on the field and very angry, and I think you can help us clear up exactly what happened as far as the misunderstanding on the clock starting. Oxendine, nice job to move it back inside. He's going to wind up with a gain of a couple on the play. Bullock makes the tackle, but he could have been stopped for bigger yardage, lost.
Well, I think what happened was that when the penalty was called, I believe they thought the clock was going to stop, but an official up here said the clock starts right away, and the 7 seconds just disappeared. So it was the right call by the officials.
Yeah, and Paul went on the field and confronted the officials with it, and Buddy Ward explained to him what the rule said and that they were indeed correct on the call. Oxendine almost broke it for big yardage there as he takes it down to the 40. Greenwood on the stop. Well, here's the end of the first half. You see the clock winding down, and it's exactly what he's saying.
But I'm also not sure that he asked for a timeout with one of his players asking for a timeout and didn't get it. That might have been the other thing. One of his players may have signaled for the timeout and didn't get it.
Well, part of his frustration is they had lost 2, as you mentioned, only by 3 points, and trying to make sure that the wheels don't totally come off, and they feel as though they can't buy a break now. But they got to stop this drive right here. Oxendine spins off one tackle. That's a good job. It's going to be 4th down, and this is way too far as field goal range, I would think, for Virginia Tech. And the punting unit is coming on. It means Jimmy Kibble. By the way, the numbers in the first half defensively for Syracuse, Pons had 8 tackles, and Engelberger, who we talked about right at the end of the first half, had a total of 6. And a couple of players down right there, and it looks as though number 20, Donovan Darius, one of the shaken up players. Oxendine waiting for Darius to get off of him. He's okay.
The good kicking teams now, you also have the possibility of the fake here, but good kicking teams want to pin this football inside the 10 right here. Now, Virginia Tech's pretty good at this. You get to 2 outside gunners, split out. They're going to get a free release out there. They've got a Syracuse player on them. But they're going to try to get this ball hung up so that they can start Donovan McNabb inside the 10-yard line.
I asked Coach Beamer why he took such an interest in special teams. He said, the coaches want me to stay busy doing something that keeps me out of their hair. Very high kick. Fair catch is signaled for and is made at the 14 by Spotwood. So there's a timeout on the field. We'll take it with him. 11:21 to play, 3rd quarter. Hokies continue to lead by 7.
Life isn't just measured in days or years. It's measured in doorways and walkways, or a favorite sweater long outgrown. At State Farm, we give our policyholders a yardstick of their own. It's called the Family Insurance Checkup. It helps them measure their own needs and pick the coverage that's right for them. So call your agent for a checkup. Because insurance, like other things in life, is something you never want to outgrow.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Is that a new big king? No, it's a bag, Coach. No, in the bag, son. Yes, sir, it is.
Well, what's a smart kid like you doing sitting on the bench? Get in there and play quarterback.
Really? Like taking candy from a baby.
The new Big King from Burger King, flame broiled with 75% more beef. It's like a Big Mac, except it's bigger and tastes better. And right now, you can get one for just 99 cents.
Coach said I could play halfback.
It is perhaps our most impressive safety advance ever. A Volvo that can save your soul. Introducing the all-wheel drive cross-country from Volvo.
ESPN's presentation of Saturday primetime college football is brought to you by Burger King, where you can get your burger's worth. And by Volvo. Volvo reminds you to drive safely. Some of the capacity crowd here at Worsham Field in Blacksburg, Virginia, for this Big East Conference meeting between the Syracuse Orangemen and the Hokies of Virginia Tech. Syracuse has not won here in 10 years. Donovan McNabb and company trying to break that string tonight. They give it to McIntosh, and that is just great penetration by Irby. Just coming off the corner, and let's go down and check in with Adrian Carson. Adrian?
Well, Ron, this is a very, very significant moment in the Syracuse college football season because Coach Pasqualoni admits to me at the end of halftime here that how his offense plays in his very first series will determine a lot about how his team plays the rest of the football season. The problem they're having is this. They like to get this clock down to about 5 seconds before they snap it. But keep an eye on that Virginia Tech defensive line. They like to shift within the last 5 seconds. They figure by doing that, that confuses the offensive line of the Orangemen, and that at least takes away some of their aggressiveness.
Play action under pressure. Gets by one man, running for his life, throws it complete. Boy, good stick at the 25-yard line by Carpenter, but he held on to the football. Carpenter, junior out of Baltimore. It was Prioleau, Pierson Prioleau, who came through the strong safety, or their rover, so to speak.
And they didn't wrap up. They didn't wrap up Donovan McNabb. He's too good an athlete. You have to wrap him up. He just ducks under, and now he's able to find, again, point guard in basketball, so he's got his head moving. He sees things that other quarterbacks may not see. Finds his receiver downfield, makes the catch. Jim Turner, and they're in business.
Jimmy took a pretty good shot right there, held on to the football, but most importantly, he moved the chains. McNabb now 5 of 9 for 73 yards. Gets that one complete, just shy of the 40-yard line. Caught by Jeff Lowe, a sophomore out of Liverpool, New York.
Syracuse is going to win this football game tonight. They're going to have to win it throwing the football. Ron, when you take a guy out like Rob Conrad, they have no inside running game tonight. There's no, and they're an option team every now and then. You have to establish the fullback inside. They gained 2 yards with their fullback in the first half. They do not have a fullback threat tonight. So everything has to be outside in the run and outside throwing the football.
See the numbers 6 of 10 for him tonight as they get the ball quickly outside. Midget comes up and makes the tackle. Mike, talk about the injury to Conrad. Are they concerned that they're going to lose him for even a greater amount of time?
He got hurt last week, and he was so impressive in that first game. When you have a quarterback like Donovan McNabb, you got a guy like Rob Conrad. I know Mel Kiper thinks very highly of Rob Conrad and all the other pro scouts in the country. He gives you that inside, outside threat with Donovan McNabb in the past. They're without it tonight.
Up into the pocket. There's a marker, throws it incomplete. And from where that one was thrown, we may have an offensive hold. Kevin Johnson is the fellow that he wanted.
Well, Danny Wheel, number 90, he's complaining that he was held by the tight end. Kasim Sensano, I believe, is who he thinks held him. 89. Let's take a look at, see right here if this is the hold. Kasim Sensano. Yeah, I would think so. It's probably a pretty good tackle. Be proud of him and Wrestling Mania.
Still 7-0 if you just joined us. The score came early on in the second quarter. And that's been the extent of it. And we had laughed and talked about, we thought both of these teams would be high scoring tonight because they normally light it up. Last year, Syracuse scored 52 points against Virginia Tech. Sets deep in the pocket. Now the pressure comes on him, and McNabb gets away at the 30 and will finally come out of bounds close to the 35, and he got hit pretty hard. As he headed out of bounds, Midget was the first man holding on to him.
Well, you always have a fear when you blitz a quarterback of the ability of Donovan McNabb, because if you miss and you get in there and you don't tackle him, then he has enough athletic ability, enough strength in his legs to hurt you a little bit. And once he breaks this first lane of defenders, they're very fortunate. Anthony Midget was there to make the tackle on Donovan McNabb.
See, Midget's 181, and he had to get some help because, as we mentioned, McNabb is like 220. And when you give it up 40 pounds, you could see the difference. So he herded him toward the sideline, and he finally stopped it. Third down. The line to make is just out across the 48. Syracuse 3 of 8 on third down conversions.
Well, Virginia Tech was they were out of position right here. Good timeout by their captain, the linebackers.
So let's take the break with them. 8:41 to play, third quarter. Hokies by a touchdown.
It is perhaps our most impressive safety advance ever. A Volvo that can save your soul. Introducing the all-wheel drive cross-country from Volvo.
Zoom Air gives me back the step I lost in the 70s, but I still have to learn about today's players. So I found someone with lots of free time who could help. Hey, thanks for helping, Coach Schuller.
No problem, Joe. I got lots of free time.
He's pretty fast. So's he. So's he. Good thing I wear super fast, low-to-the-ground Zoom Air shoes, huh, Coach?
So do they, Joe.
Coach Schuller wasn't that helpful.
At Red Lobster, we celebrate freshness with live Maine lobsters, flown in daily, then steamed to perfection. Now they're only $14.99 while they last. Only at Red Lobster.
Now at Pep Boys, get any 4 of our 35,000-mile all-season steel-belted tires at an incredible low $99. That's right, any size, any 4 35,000-mile tires, just $99. At Pep Boys, now.
Tulane meets Syracuse and the Big East's explosive superstar, Donovan McNabb. Tulane Syracuse at 6, next Saturday on ESPN2.
So we're back. And the Hokie fans are up and cheering for the defense. They want to stop right here. It is third down, and we're going to call it about 13 and a half to pick up the first down. As you look into the eyes of John Engelberger, the young sophomore out of Springfield, Virginia, and as Mike said, what a story. A walk-on, gained 47 pounds since he came here and has really made himself into a football player. McNabb zings the pass too low. Incomplete at the 50. Darrell Daniel pointing at the defensive back, wanting a defensive interference call, but they're not going to get one. Anthony Midget on the defensive play.
John Engelberger, number 96. You've been talking about him, Ron. This is just a 3-man rush. He continues to work to try to get to the quarterback.
Best punt of the night by Syracuse. Duncan sends Scales back to the 15. And he returns it 15, 20, 25 at the 30-yard line. And finally going to be stopped up close to the 40. 48 yards in the kick and 22 yards on the return. Well, coming up on Monday night, ESPN's NFL Primetime Monday kicks off at 7:30 for 90 minutes of NFL highlights, recapping the weekend's action and previewing the night. Then at 9 o'clock, ABC's Monday Night Football, Philadelphia battling the Dallas Cowboys. The Eagles coming off an upset win over the Packers, trying to knock off their second straight NFL heavyweight. All happening on Monday. Option play, Clark holds on and pitches back to Oxendine at the last moment. Not so sure that he shouldn't have kept the football.
No, he made a chancy move there, pitching the ball out. He would have probably gained as much keeping the football. Antoine Pons again. Good linebackers, middle linebackers, scrape outside, run to the football, makes the tackle.
Pons is now in double figures. As we mentioned to you, he had 9 tackles in the first half. But that's what you expect from a veteran player, because those other 2 guys, Bullock and Greenwood, both very, very young. Bullock, a former fullback. He's only a sophomore. And Greenwood, a redshirt freshman out of Freeport, New York. Look who's back in the ballgame. Marcus Parker, number 34. Got the handoff out of that shotgun formation. And we are surprised, but quite frankly, I guess they decided if he was able to go, they certainly would do it, because the offense has not been in sync since he went to the sideline.
No, I think that threat of Marcus Parker at fullback position, he's a tailback playing fullback, 3 rushes for 11 yards tonight. He's a good receiver out of the backfield, too, in the passing game. That was lost also when he was out of the game.
And of course, a very big body for a running back at 5'10", 230 pounds. Third down. Clark sets deep in the pocket. Going to go long. Looking for Scales, and he's got it. Inside the 5.
It's a backbreaker there, Ron, and again, no pressure on Al Clark. Look at him. Take as long as he wants to back there with the play fake. And Shawn Scales just gets behind Donovan Darius, the safety.
Mike, to show you how badly he had beaten the coverage, he actually had to wait on the football. He had to wait for it to get there.
There were several other receivers open on that play. Good play fake and no pressure on the quarterback.
First and goal, Virginia Tech. It's Hopkins in motion, but they give it to Oxendine. Left side, he will score. Attempt the extra point. Good pass. Kick is up, and he's got it. So there's a break in the action, and we'll take it with him. 6:25 remaining, third quarter. As you watch Oxendine score, it's now 14-0, Virginia Tech.
Stars and Encore are a smash in September.
Are you ready for some good news, man?
With really big hits and the movies you love. Yes! Be on the prowl every Saturday night for an exclusive premiere movie only on Stars and no other movie channel.
You're incredible.
Who told you? And Encore whets your appetite with a different movie every night in prime time. Get Stars and Encore in September.
It's a doozy.
Get Stars and Encore in Total Choice Platinum.
Come along for a ride you'll never forget with DirecTV and the challenge of flight. From Mach 1 to infinity, you'll soar to new limits, break the sound barrier, and engage the enemy in fierce battle. Face the challenge of flight when you check out these high-octane hits playing this month for only $1.99 each. Strap yourself in and say a prayer as the challenge of flight takes you right to the edge. On Direct Ticket, only on DirecTV.
Mark Hayes came to Bristol specifically to study under Dean Berman, whose forte is football rhetoric.
Drew Bledsoe, nickname, who wants a crack at it?
Drew bled so much that he needed a transfusion.
Boring. Ms. Allen.
It's a trick question. Drew Bledsoe has no nickname.
Students are taught not just how to ask questions, but more importantly, how to ask questions about football.
This may be a stupid question, but
There is no such thing as a stupid question, Mr. Hayes. Just stupid people that ask questions. Yes.
Does dysentery rhyme with Singletary?
Oxendine with the touchdown, sitting next to his running mate, Marcus Parker. On that extra point, an interesting story. There he is, 91. Caleb Hurd, he's a non-scholarship player, but he was Shane Graham's holder in high school. Caleb was coming to Virginia Tech. He's an excellent student. He's in engineering. And Coach Beamer said, why don't you bring him with you? You know, stay in your comfort zone. He was your holder in high school. And so Caleb is not on scholarship, but Coach Beamer said, it officially says holder by his position. He also, by the way, is the backup long snapper. But Coach Beamer said, I'm working hard to get him a scholarship. He has dedicated a lot to the Virginia Tech football team. And those kind of stories is what makes a good family situation.
That's great. And there's a lot of walk-ons in this program at Virginia Tech that have gained scholarships.
From the 3, Kevin Johnson gets to the outside. Flag is down, and it's going to wipe out an absolutely nice return by Syracuse. Well, they can't get ahead, Mike.
No, it looked like another hold over there for Syracuse. It'll back them up again.
Holding.
Yep, you're right.
On the return.
So it's holding. And Mike Tirico, what do you have for us, partner?
Ron, next week on the Deuce, Washington State at Illinois. Ryan Leaf, great start. Another touchdown pass. This to Love Jefferson, his first career touchdown. Never forget your first love. Washington State leads SC by 15.
Leaf and love, huh?
John Robinson would like to forget that tonight.
Okay. Boy, I'll tell you what, that's going to wipe out a 35-yard return by Syracuse. And Mike, we showed the pictures of Paul Pasqualoni just at halftime about his frustration. And these are the kind of things we've talked about their field position all night. Average in the first half 17. They got it on the 14 to start the third quarter when they first got it. Right now they're at the 16.
Backed up all the time. Maybe a play action pass here to try to get the home run. Let's go with the option.
We'll hold on to it and take it close to the 20-yard line.
When you're ahead 14-0, you like to see the quarterback carried on the option. You want to punish him. Virginia Tech players, good hard tacklers. Keon Carpenter, #1. Pierson Prioleau, #20. Come up, make the tackle for Frank Beamer's defense.
Right here where they are in the field, they're actually covered in smoke a little bit. There's a barbecue going on up in the end zone that they're selling barbecued meats up there. And you see the smoke drifting across the field. And a bunch of it's right over the top of Syracuse there.
I think that's the smoke coming out of their helmet. They want something good to happen.
Slow burn.
They're a frustrated football team.
Second down, straight drop to throw this time, and he's got his man. And that'll be, yep, I believe he's going to have the first down at the 26, Jeff Lowe. Yeah, you see the smoke coming from that area where they have the tents and they serve burgers and what have you up there. It is a great night here in Southwest Virginia. Temperature tonight will be down in the 50s. And this capacity crowd really enjoying it. And I know Syracuse is as well because they got beat up by the heat last week out in Norman, Oklahoma. But still, even the cool weather, they haven't been able to rebound the way they want to yet.
Well, they'd like to enjoy it a lot more, but they need some points here.
Flags go everywhere. But Spotwood has one touch of the football tonight, and that's it.
Good ball. False start. Movement prior to the snap.
Well, just keep hurting yourselves on offense with penalties. You know, Paul Pasqualoni had an interesting thing to say to us yesterday. He said everybody opens with us or gets 2 weeks to prepare for us. And that's been the way the season has gone. This is their 4th ball game, and Virginia Tech beat Rutgers, had a week off for them. They opened with Wisconsin. North Carolina State was an opening game. Oklahoma had a week off to prepare for Syracuse.
Well, you look at the first 3 games in the last 4 years and then the rest of the season. And it's like they have trouble coming out of the blocks. And, of course, the question there is everybody wants to know why.
The other team has something to do with that.
That's true. McNabb caught by the jersey. He lost the football. That's a lie. You see the scramble. The last man we saw going for the football was a Syracuse player. But underneath that stack, some strange things can happen. Careful, guys. Roland Williams very upset about the situation, but it looks as though Corey Bowen is down at the bottom of that stack, and Engelberger had all those bodies on top of him. He couldn't get to the football, and he was getting pounded.
No, Ron, I gave that statistic. 24 defensive touchdowns under Frank Beamer, so they go for the big play on defense. Get Donovan McNabb chasing him around. Anthony Lambeau, number 59, makes the hit, and the ball is all over the place underneath that pile. A lot of pulling and tugging on that ball once you get covered up.
That shot you had right there, Engelberger may have had it, but he didn't have it when they came off the stack. Bowen had it. Second down and an acre. McNabb right over the middle, got it complete. That's Kevin Johnson. And Larry Green is there to hit him immediately.
Kevin Johnson had 5 receptions versus Oklahoma for 122 yards. He thought about transferring when he didn't win the quarterback position. Marvin Harrison talked to him, the fine receiver who's now with the Colts. Told him to stick with it. And he's paid off. He's a fine receiver for the Syracuse football team.
Keon Carpenter, the free safety, steps back and asks the crowd to make some noise because Syracuse has a 3rd down and the line to make all the way out at the 36-yard line. Safety blitz is on. Gets his pass away. He's got him there, and it's just overthrown. Oh, my goodness.
They brought Pierson Prioleau, number 20. You were right about the safety blitz. He had one-on-one with Jim Turner. He just didn't have time, Ron, to set his feet and throw that football under pressure all night.
He was fortunate to get it as close as he did.
Here's number 20 coming right here, Prioleau, and no one is there to block him. Now you're going to see he's Donovan McNabb's face. He got Donovan McNabb backing up a little bit.
Good high-hanging spiral. Scales fumbles the ball and he gets on it at the 28.
Ron, I thought there wouldn't be any kicks blocked tonight because the coaches go back, and when they find something wrong like that, they spend a lot of time on it, and neither team's really been close so far on blocking any kicks tonight because of the attention to detail.
We got 3:21 left to play in this third quarter. 14-0. The Hokies on top, and Syracuse got to find some way, whether it's a break with the defense to get a turnover or what have you, get the ball in good field position and get into the end zone because they've been stymied.
And Virginia Tech wants a nice long drive to wear this defense out.
Pegues. He almost wandered and found himself a first down as he takes it close to the 38-yard line.
And who led him out there? Al Clark, the quarterback, number 5, is going to pitch this ball to Lamont Pegues. Now he's going to go out the backside. Now he's just carrying out a fake. All of a sudden he sees, now I've got a block. And there's a quarterback with a pretty good block.
It sure was. Cullen Hawkins takes it for the first down. Mike Tirico, what do you have for us?
Ron, over on the Deuce, a guy known for his throwing ability, runs it in. Chad Hutchinson, the junior Stanford quarterback, will scramble, nobody open, keep it himself. Add the extra point, tie game, Chapel Hill.
Well, that is a good one. 14 apiece, third quarter, Chapel Hill.
I'm still sticking with my story. They'll be all right.
Well, this is Pons who is down. Antoine, as we mentioned, in double figures on tackles. In fact, they'll give us an opportunity to check exactly how many. He's got 11 in the ball game, and he was shaken up on that last play. See if we can pick up exactly what happened. There he is making the stop.
Ron, they cannot afford to lose Antoine Pons because they've got Greenwood at one linebacker as a freshman and Bullock as the other linebacker as a sophomore. And they're going to bring in another sophomore now. The backup is Matt Klaus. So that's a young group of linebackers that you're asking a lot to do.
So we'll see how quickly they get Pons back on the field. It is a first down situation, Virginia Tech. First down, and they have the ball at very close to the 48-yard line.
See if they run right at Klaus here.
They fake the option, gonna throw. Two-man route, and he's got him open, and he couldn't hold on to the football. Rod Gatson got back over at the last available moment.
They had the wheel route on. They were going for the home run play with the post, and the post was covered by Donovan Darius. So all of a sudden you go to the other route. Now look at this comeback right here by number 9, Rod Gatson. He makes a great play to keep that from being a big score, big yardage gain.
Michael Stewie, the intended receiver. Michael also a walk-on here at Virginia Tech. In fact, his dad brought him in, went to every school in the Northeast. Nobody was interested in a 158-pound wide receiver. And he was hung on, and now we're regular. Pegues bumped out of bounds by Darius after a short gain.
Well, the way I heard that is he was so frustrated that no one was interested. He said, let's go home. And they said, no, let's make one more stop. Let's go to Virginia Tech. And Michael Stewie has proved that he can play on this level.
I asked Frank yesterday, I said, well, why? You know, what convinced you after all this time? And he said he just started making plays, and he kept making plays against the number 1s. And we said, hey, let's give him a shot. So it is third down, and they need the Syracuse 42.5-yard line. The average on third down in this half. Zings it across the middle, and because of the good hit by Jason Poles, can't hold on to the football.
Jason Poles is another interesting story. He came to Syracuse as a quarterback, moved to safety, then the linebacker, then the receiver. then back to safety, would call his mom every semester and say, hey, they moved my position again. But I think he's found a home at the safety spot.
Angelo Harrison, the intended receiver. That's the first time they've been able to get the ball close to Harrison tonight. He, like Spotwood for Syracuse, is a big play player. They get it away and just barely.
I think Shane Beamer had a little hitch right there. Now let's see if they caught him on this. There's a little hitch, and you tell your defensive lineman to move on ball movement. I think he hitched it a little bit.
38 yards on the kick.
Ooh, I don't know about this.
Well, it's not enough for the first down. It makes it 4th down and about 3. There's Shane.
Shane might have got away with one for Dad here.
I was watching this time, and
on the defense,
he was about 2 when he used to run around the Murray football offices. And now he's tackling people. Watch a little flinch here. But they turned down the penalty round because they forced Syracuse back inside the 15 again.
38 yards on the kick. Now, Bud Foster, the defense coordinator for Virginia Tech, said yesterday one of the reasons last year they got hammered by Syracuse was the fact that Syracuse would bang the ball inside and then go on top. But as you pointed out, they don't have anybody to bang inside, which takes away that influence, and they haven't been able to go on.
You're exactly right. The bangers in Syracuse. Conrad, he's not here tonight. So they have no inside running game with a fullback.
Well, they've done it again as far as starting in the second half. Is the pass thrown complete out across the 35 to Jim Turner. This half, Syracuse has started at their own 14, 16, and 13-yard lines.
And that's good kicking game and good offense by Virginia Tech because they're winning the field position battle. You don't always have to score. If you just get some first downs and then kick them down there and make them go the length of the field, you figure they're going to make some mistakes along the way and give you the football back. Syracuse not dead yet. With Donovan McNabb at quarterback now, they still got potential.
McIntosh, and he's going to have about 5 yards in the play. Ike Charlton, redshirt freshman from Orlando, number 3, comes up to make the stop.
We keep talking about Conrad not being here. You go back to Syracuse when they had Donnie McPherson at quarterback and Moose Johnson at fullback. And when you got that threat, you got to throw the inside game with the fullback, the option with the quarterback, the passing game. And you know Virginia Tech, Bud Foster sitting over there saying they can't hurt us with a fullback inside. They're not going to run a fullback inside.
McNabb has him wide open at the 50. Breaks it inside the 40, and D. Brown looking for a spot to go behind his blocker, and he's all the way down to the 19-yard line as Charlton finally stopped him after a gain of 40.
A good catch out of the backfield by D. Brown, a former quarterback, playing in the fullback position tonight. Just slips out in the flat. They lined him up, tilted a little bit to the right. No one on him, busted coverage. D. Brown now makes good yardage, gets a good block.
That's Daniel who's down there blocking for him. Darrell Daniel.
Well, this would be big if Syracuse could knock this in.
63 seconds left in the third quarter. What a huge play by Nate Williams. I mean, he just jumped up, came through, whipped his man with his penetration, and stops him for a loss.
And that's pretty good size. 6'2", 259 as a sophomore. Got underneath the block of the offensive lineman. Made the tackle in the backfield. Another tackle where you lose yardage. They're constantly working up the field, Ron, on you. Constantly pressuring your offense.
Cena with Williams in the ballgame. 2 tight ends, only 1 wide receiver. Got his man right over the middle. That's Turner. And let's see if they'll give him the 15-yard line. It's a gain of around 8. Lauren Johnson came up and made the stop. They also had the tight end, Mike, going deep straight down the middle and it looked as though that he was open.
Watch this, Ron, right here. You're right. Watch the fullback come out of the back. The tight end, see that he's open right here. Now a little bit late to find him, but he's wide open in the flat. That's something you log again if you're coaching up here in the press box.
Well, that's the end of the third quarter, so we'll take a timeout. 14-0. The Hokies lead. Syracuse threatening.
Another shortcut to small business success from mailboxes, etc. Star in a commercial on the Super Bowl. You'll get national exposure plus $10,000. It's the See Your Small Business on the Super Bowl search. Enter now at mailboxes, etc.
It is perhaps our most impressive safety advance ever. A Volvo that can save your soul. Introducing the all-wheel drive cross-country from Volvo.
Got a taste for something new? Introducing Domino's new Pesto Crust Pizza. Zesty pesto made from sweet basil, parsley, and savory garlic, kneaded right into the dough. Baked, then brushed with pure olive oil, sprinkled with Romano cheese for a truly authentic flavor. New Pesto Crust Pizza, only from Domino's. Try it, or any large one-topping pizza for $9.99 and get a second one-topping for $5.99.
Domino's, hot wow now! What do you get when you cross a high-quality conventional motor oil with an advanced formula synthetic? A revolutionary oil that protects better than regular oils, yet costs less than full synthetics. DuraBlend from Valvoline. Valvoline's the #1 choice of top mechanics.
The Sistine Chapel cleaning, $7 million. Painting, $4 million. Materials, $2 million. Seems you can get a pretty good restoration for $13 million.
Eminenza.
Prego, prego.
Il combo.
Holy cow! Imagine what Holiday Inns will look like when we spend $1 billion. Holiday Inn, on the way.
Well, time for the fourth quarter in what's been a very rapidly moving football game. And Paul Pasqualone wants to avoid not only the shutout, he wants to get the monkey off their back that they can come from behind and win.
3 points from being undefeated.
Pressure from the outside. McNabb sets, delivers the pass incomplete, and because of the pressure, Spotwood is the man that he wanted, but it was Prioleau who was coming pell-mell.
Yeah, and they had their hands up, Ron. Again, you look for pass rush where they get the hands up in the quarterback's face, and that really bothered Donovan McNabb on that pass.
Did they avoid it? Haven't been shut out. It's the last game of '94, West Virginia. Trout to attempt the field goal, 33-yarder to that right hash mark. Good one, and he's got it.
That is good. It should have been blocked.
I thought he ran by it.
Should have been blocked. Now, that was a mistake by Virginia Tech. They broke through, had it blocked, and just missed it.
Let's take another look at it here, Mike.
You're going to see number 56.
It's Moore.
Moore come right through. He just missed it. Trout was able to get it right by him. Here's your see what the kicker sees now.
He did. He ran right by it, didn't he?
He needs to lay out on that, and the coaches will take that tape and talk to him about that. Get his hands a little lower and take that ball off the kicker's foot.
Well, college football coming up on Thursday night. It's the weekend kickoff show at 7:30. Then it's Big East action. 12th-ranked Miami heads to Western Pennsylvania to take on the new-look Pittsburgh Panthers, who won today. Senior Ryan Clement is back at quarterback for the Hurricanes. He completed over 60% of his passes a year ago and is anxious to lead Miami back into the top 10.
Well, they could take that 12 off Miami because they're going to drop
after losing to Arizona State today. So two of the surprises, they got beat at home, and Pittsburgh won over Houston.
Beat Houston down at Houston on campus. I believe that game was played today on the University of Houston campus.
Well, this is a line drive, and the knuckler is, that's going to be down. His knee was there. Bobbled the ball for a moment. Shelley Ellison, one of the reserve running backs. And let's check with Mike Tirico again. Mike?
Problems for North Carolina. No second half first downs. Game was tied at 14. Stanford kicked a field goal off a turnover. Then Chris Keldorf's going to turn it over again, hit by Riel Johnson. Stanford has the ball at the North Carolina 24, attempting a field goal up 3.
All right, Michael.
You know, Ron, what we said about Chris Keldorf at the beginning of the year, he doesn't make mistakes. He's made some mistakes in his first 2 games.
Yeah, he has.
I still stick with my story. I still think they'll come out and win that game.
You know, I'll tell you, one of the things that's really worked on hard and trained in college football is knocking that football away, more so than it used to be. As this running play here is going to go for nothing, and Walters is the man who stepped up into the hole and said, nope, not going any further.
Well, Norm Gerber, the defensive coordinator, and all the defensive coaches for Syracuse have told their defense now or never. We need to go in and turn this ball 3 plays out, let our offense come back on the field and get something going. They need a defensive play here where they take this football away from Virginia Tech. You can't allow them a couple first downs and burn clock.
Mike, I want you to talk about what this quarterback is reading. He's reading the safeties, isn't he?
He's reading both safeties. Whether they're in too deep.
Oxendine tries to get to the outside, close to the first down. Nice block by Scales. And Adrian Carson, let's check with you.
Ron, perfect time to remind all of us that, you know, every college football player has little rituals that'll go through off the field during the week to make sure he is completely prepared, and the Ox is no exception. Every Friday before a home football game, here's where he goes. The New Image Barbershop in downtown Blacksburg. They get a little trim and a big smile. And here's the situation. He spent all summer long growing his hair pretty thick and long because he knew he was going to do this every Thursday before an away game and every Friday before a home game. He looked pretty good there.
Yeah, he did.
Adrian's got a new running mate there. Ken Oxendine.
Adrian, why didn't you get a haircut while you were there?
I did. Doesn't it look good? Come on.
14-3, the Hokies lead with 13 minutes and 50 seconds as Gadsden is helped off the field. Gadsden went down. Phil Nash has gone down a couple of times, so that secondary for Syracuse has really taken some bruises in this game tonight. 3rd down. They need about 1.5 yards. Oxendine will have it as he blasts his way up the middle. McIntosh makes the tackle. Good block by Parker. And the offense, again, I say, has been in more of a good sync than with Parker out there.
A big first down for Virginia Tech to get that clock moving with 13:27.
Gadsden, one of the seniors. You see also one of the captains, the C on his jersey.
Terrell Austin told me he's the secondary coach. He said that he is a competing Jesse, that Rod Gadsden. He will compete with everybody. He's only 5'8".
He's not very big, yeah. Oh, nice cut back inside by Oxendine. He was taking it out, planted the right foot hard, and he's going to have 11 yards in the play and good for the first down as Nash finally stops him.
Well, I was talking about what Norm Gerber was telling his defense, what Ricky Bussell, the offensive coordinator of Virginia Tech. Now you challenge your offensive line and say, now we've got to run the football, keep it on the ground, get some first downs, and put this game away. And when Phil Nash has to make the tackle in the secondary, you know you're getting good blocking up front.
Well, for the Ox, 21 carries, 83 yards, and a touchdown tonight against the pitch. They're working him hard now, and he's going to be hit at the line of scrimmage. And it'll be a 2nd down and 10. As you see, Danish getting off the bottom of the stack, number 63, and also 99, Derek Corley. They combined on the stop.
Yeah, Jeff Danish was a leader on defense last year, got hurt. Coaches said he had an excellent week of practice, so they figured that he was going to play well in this football game tonight.
Young fella from, there it is, Staten Island. Clock runs, about to go under 12 minutes left in the ball game. bring the linebackers in the middle, and here's a reverse. It's Scales. Got blockers all over the place. Cuts it back into the middle and literally ran into Jason Bowles. And check the block by Al Clark, the quarterback.
Now, Al Clark is 6'1", 202 pounds. He's going to block Jason Walters, number 90. There's the give. Now, let's keep our eye on the quarterback. There's the block. He's blocking a guy that is 6'2", 6'4", 270 pounds. So that quarterback, Al Clark's not only a thrower, a runner, he's blocked. He's made 2 blocks tonight. Here's the block again.
One of the Hokies is injured on the play, and the trainers are out there. It looks as though it's Todd Washington, the center. He's really the guy who solidifies everything with that offensive line. He's out of Melfa, Virginia, 6'3", 317. He's a senior. He and Clark had to get on the same page 2 weeks ago in their first ball game, as they do a lot of stuff from the shotgun. As he's saying something to one of the Syracuse players, but Todd thought it was a first sound call. Well, Clark had turned away. Only he said, "Oh, look, I see was his ankles and his knees." He heard the first sound. Well, he was calling an audible, snapped the ball right by his head, and they lost about 20 yards in the play. But that won't happen again.
No, he's a good center, too. Yeah. The one thing coaches talked about Virginia Tech is their strength program. He said that their linemen are strong, offensively and defensively. Everybody has a strength program. But for some reason, these guys do a great job in the weight room.
Keith Short is the new center. He's out of Glen Allen, Virginia. And again, they keep it on the ground, just trying to make that clock move on. Pons with the tackle. Well, Washington's back in, and to show you how popular he is and how many centers do you know get standing ovations?
Well, it's like big-time wrestling. He was calling somebody out from Syracuse, and the fans saw him, so they're glad to see him come back, see what he can do now.
Well, big number 75 goes back over the football. Oxendine with the carry, and Pons again making the tackle.
I was watching him on that play. He missed the block on Antoine Pons, number 50. Was able to come underneath of him and make the tackle. Here's number 75, Todd Washington. Got the big ovation. Misses the misses the block, and Antoine Pons makes the tackle.
Antoine has had a heck of a ball game tonight. You talk about him being the glue as far as the linebackers. He's
got to keep him on the field.
You know, he just made that one as well. He should have at least 12. Yeah. I want to say officially 12 tackles in this game. Option play, and they give it to the first man through. It'll go for a couple of yards. Not going to be enough for the first down. And Walters is down on the bottom of that stack. But this clock is about to go under 10 minutes, Mike.
Yeah, and this is the drive that Syracuse couldn't afford. And Ron, you're talking about like the witness protection program. If you want to go into that, you could be an offensive lineman, because except for that ovation for Washington, nobody knows what they do during a ball game.
So it's fourth down. A yard and a half. Virginia Tech is going for it.
Well, you figure Oxendine's going to get the football.
Parker and Hawkins in the backfield.
Draw them off.
And then you're exactly right. Clark comes out from under center, calls a timeout, and he'll come over to the sideline to visit with his head coach. So we'll take a commercial break. 14-3 our score. 9:45 to play.
Green Bay is a small town. When someone leaves here, it means something. It means the entire community has been diminished. It means an acquaintance, a neighbor, a friend has left your life forever. Most importantly, it means there's now some extra seats available for Sunday's game.
While it's awfully tough to get tickets from the Super Bowl champs, it's absolutely impossible with American Express. So bring your Visa card.
Go Packers.
The official card of the NFL.
How to fit a ton of features into a half-ton truck. The Mazda SE5.
Mazda SE5. Well, I want it all. Mazda SE5.
The Mazda SE5. Have it all for $11,950.
Said Mazda SE5.
Lease the Mazda SE5 for for $159 a month.
I am the first solar-powered woman, charged, converting light to power and performance. Consistent, only interrupted by brief moments of spontaneous combustion. Discus Athletic, compete on every field.
ESPN's presentation of Saturday primetime college football is brought to you by Discus Athletic, the brand that lets you compete on every field. So, Mike, I'm watching here on the sideline.
I think you kicked the field goal, and I think what Frank Beamer's doing is trying to huddle his kicking team and not allowing them to go out right away so Syracuse can't make the substitutions till late. But I think they're going to try to tackle on the field goal.
And a great case in point, NC State against Syracuse when they went for two and caught Syracuse with the wrong unit on the field, right?
And all of a sudden you get them a little confused on defense.
39-yard attempt, got plenty of distance, and he's got it. Shane Graham knocks it home. So there is a timeout with our new score. Virginia Tech 17, Syracuse 3, 9:40 to play in our game.
Today I set out to fix my car.
Thanks, neighbor.
Whatever. I had to stop at 4 different places.
Push. Push.
Good thing I live in a friendly town.
Push.
One of us pushes, the other one pops the clutch.
Come on, push, push. I am pushing.
Finally, I went to Pep Boys.
Hey, everybody, I fixed it.
I love this town.
Car or truck, Pep Boys has your starter or alternator. 26,000 items at the guaranteed low price, tires and service too. Pep Boys, everything but gas.
How to fit a ton of features into a half-ton truck. The Mazda SE5.
Mazda SE5. Well, I want it all. Mazda SE5.
The Mazda SE5. Have it all for $11,950.
Said Mazda SE5.
Lease the Mazda SE5 for $159 a month.
Next Saturday night, Tigers Tango in Baton Rouge. Auburn LSU next Saturday night at 7:30, only on ESPN.
Well, speaking of someone who did not go to get a haircut with Ox yesterday, but this guy's having a great time. And it's going to take him all week to get that paint off his belly.
How about that hair?
That's what I said. He didn't go with Ox to get a haircut.
No, I'm talking about his hair in his chest.
Oh. Right, it wasn't working. Well, this kick is going to be 4 yards deep, and Kevin Johnson will go down on one knee. And Mike Tirico, let's check with you.
Well, we're on down 21-6 to start the second half. Southern California supposed to get the ball. The offense never got it. R.J. Sauer takes it and says, guys, I'll take care of it. 94 yards on the touchdown. They go for one and make it. So Washington State now leads by 8.
Mike Tirico, the thing it's real quick to notice, it didn't take him very long to get from one end of that field to the other, did it?
No, you know what? Southern Cal looking at them against Florida State, they had trouble running against Florida State. When would you ever think that Southern Cal couldn't run the football?
I know it. But they got some skill people, don't they?
They really do.
4 wide receiver set. McNabb in the shotgun. Pressure comes on him, gets it away, and he's got a man open, and boy, Derek Roland Williams, just dropped the football. Couldn't hold on.
Ron, it all comes down to running the football, and we talked about it at the start of the game that Syracuse has one problem. They have a tough time stopping the run the last couple weeks. Well, they had a tough time again tonight. 201 yards. And with Rob Conrad sitting back home in Syracuse, they average 174 yards. They get 60 tonight without the use of a fullback, a running fullback. So the injury to Rob Conrad hurt this ball club tonight.
Flat, and that's D. Brown, and he will get out of bounds to stop the clock as Warren Johnson made the tackle on him. Stops it with 9:21 to play. We will start reminding you that coming up immediately after this one, we'll head to Starkville, Mississippi in an SEC matchup between the LSU Tigers, highly thought of in the preseason, and now that they are underway, taking on the Mississippi State Bulldogs.
I just think we're a week away from a couple big ball games in college football. Real Tennessee going down to Florida.
Washington and Nebraska.
Washington and Nebraska. Don't get any bigger, those two. But LSU tonight, I think they got some capable replacements for Falk.
3 of 11 on third downs, and they have missed the last 5, make it the last 6. That is the 4th sack by Virginia Tech. This one credited to Steve Tate.
Yeah, he just fired the gap, and there's no one pick him up. I don't know if it was the 46 defense. Might have been where they occupied everybody inside, and he comes off, and I'm sure they're supposed to. There's a miss right there. It looks like it was Benowitz, number 59, that got confused in the blocking scheme.
Scales calls for the fair catch, and again, Virginia Tech's going to have great field position. After a 37-yard kick, they will have it at their own 44. We'll take a break. We'll be right back.
In the world's toughest city, the mob and a gang of rogue cops have taken over. The government knew it would take more than an army to stop them. So they sent one man, Jackie Chan. Crime Story.
Playing this month on Direct Ticket, only on Direct TV.
He's back.
Yes! Hey, that's my car!
San Francisco's #1 hostage negotiator.
This is it. This is your ride.
Oh, come on now. Who am I, Red Fox?
Is all business.
What are you doing coming down here and torturing me? You know I'm in love with you.
All attitude.
I got to hang out with Huck Finn over here.
Is all the name calling necessary?
And all Eddie. Eddie Murphy, Metro.
I got 2 words for you. Seek help.
Playing this month on Direct Ticket, only on Direct TV.
Want to see a lot of college football? One plan. Get cloned. Get tickets and hit the road. Here's a better game plan.
ESPN Game Plan.
Every week, college football games from conferences you can't normally see. Sent right to you.
The ESPN Game Plan. It can't be duplicated.
Check Friday's USA Today for Saturday's game plan.
That picture says a lot right there, and you know what's going through his mind. What do I have to do to shake up this group of young men?
Well, I think he just ran into good football teams. He ran into a very good football team tonight here without a fullback.
Oxendine tries to run out of trouble, and he'll fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. Actually going to get a half yard. That is as good a half-yard run as he's ever had. Mike Tirico.
Ron, we showed you that North Carolina's second turnover of the second half. Stanford didn't get the field goal. Change quarterbacks. Oscar Davenport is in, and this team is different when he's in there. Touchdown pass to Octavius Barnes, and on the deuce, the Tar Heels coming back in Chapel Hill. They lead by 4.
Well, you're right. I'll tell you what, Mike, and that's a tough combination when you can. I mean, Keldorf can stand in the pocket and thread it, and this kid here, you got to defend him.
When I saw them a couple years ago, I thought he was going to be a great quarterback. He got hurt, or he broke a leg or hurt a knee, and that set him back. But it looks like now he's on fire.
Now, some of tomorrow's headlines. Joe Tiller, we should say a congratulations to him, who came to Purdue from Wyoming. They were not real happy after he was knocked off by Toledo. But today, he hands Bob Davies his first loss as the head coach at Notre Dame.
And they're a slow team. I've been saying it. They'll be lucky to win 8 games. Bob Davies will get out and recruit, but he was left a very slow football team.
I am amazed at the next one. Not that they lost, but Texas giving up a total of 66 points. That just is a shocker. And I want to go back to Iowa after this play right here. Deep over the middle, couldn't hold on, just beyond the outstretched hands of Sean Sullivan. Iowa, everybody keeps talking about Penn State. Everybody talks about Ohio State and Michigan. Iowa's come out of the gate. They may be as good as there is in the Big Ten.
They may be the best team in the Big Ten, but their schedule may be the toughest in the Big Ten. They've got a lot of tough road games.
So this is Jimmy Kibble waiting to punt. 7:20 left in the ball game. 17-3 as they come after Kibble and don't get it. And nothing Syracuse can do as the ball bounces away from him. They down it at the 6-yard line. It's Larry Green who got there to touch it down in the special teams. 47 yards on the kick. And Mike, special teams, they play in such great harmony. Here at Virginia Tech, that's the 3rd time that they've nailed the ball inside the 20. One of those was at the 1-foot line.
Yeah, and I think in that last series, Syracuse was trying to rush the kicker, but they just didn't get to it. And then the ball bounced on this grass. And you're right, if you can protect and down the ball inside the 20-yard line, they haven't had any block tonight. Syracuse has definitely not won the kicking game here tonight.
Better tuck it away, and he takes it to the 14. Danny Wheel puts the stopper on him.
Number 5, McNabb, the quarterback, keeping.
So we mentioned we'll be heading down to Starkville when this is over. And then next week, you and Adrian and I will head to Baton Rouge, Red Stick, and a look at the Auburn Tigers, who came back big in the 4th quarter today against the Ole Miss Rebels. They had been down. Kane scored a lot of points, won at 19-9 receiving against the LSU Tigers.
I like this Auburn football team. I think they've got a lot of talent.
McNabb slings it, intercepted by Virginia Tech. The first interception that McNabb has thrown this year, and it's Larry Green who got the pickoff.
Just a good coverage, good tight man-to-man coverage. Larry Green, Jamal Smith, the linebacker, pressuring the quarterback, Donovan McNabb. And you're sitting on those routes. You know the pressure's going to get to him. You're sitting on him about 10 yards deep. Larry Green made that interception.
Inside the 15, he's to the 13. Keith Bullock, who also has been in on a lot of tackles tonight, wraps him up. And now Virginia Tech doesn't want to do anything fancy, and they don't want to do it quickly. They would like to take that thing all the way down to 0 if they could, and don't really care if they score the touchdown.
What could be going through Donovan McNabb's mind? He gave up basketball to concentrate on football. They had that big win against Wisconsin. Everybody got their hopes up high, and they've had 3 very difficult losses.
Down to the 5-yard line. It's going to be a 1st and goal as Darius finally made the stop. Mike Tirico, back to you.
Ron, I want to put a picture of one of those Sunday's headlines that you showed us. Tavian Banks broke Ed Podolak's school record, 314 rushing yards, 517 yards in his first 2 games. Iowa does not play Penn State this year, but they play at Ohio State and Michigan.
I appreciate that, Mike. I didn't have my schedule here. I knew they had tough road games, so Mike was right on top of that.
Oxendine, by the way, 97 yards. So if he carries the rest of this 5 yards distance into the end zone. He'll be over 100 for the night. He does get the pitch. Turns it back inside. He's over 100, and he's also in for the touchdown. DiNapoli with a great block.
What did he tell Adrian when they met that he was going to score? What did he say? 2 touchdowns?
3, I think.
3 touchdowns. Well, he's out of time. He got close to it, though. Sometimes when you talk and you can back it up. Ken Oxendine is doing just that.
Jane Graham to attempt the extra point. Tatum Hurd the holder, knocks it home. So this is a break in the action, and we'll take it with him. 5:14 left in our ball game with a new score. The Hokies 24 at Syracuse 3.
How to fit a ton of features into a half-ton truck. The Mazda SE5.
Mazda SE5. Well, I want it all. Mazda SE5.
The Mazda SE5. Have it all for $11,950.
Said Mazda SE5.
Lease the Mazda SE5 for $159 a month.
You're a judge at America's most prestigious beer competition. You can't see anything. Can't see the labels. All you've got to go on is taste. So who wins the gold medal for best tasting American premium lager? Original Coors. Close your eyes and taste the one that won for taste. Original Coors.
Since the Hendrick Racing Team started using Quaker State, they finished 1-2 in the '96 Winston Cup standings. Finished 1-2-3 this year at Daytona. And they've won at Rockingham, Bristol, Martinsville, and Charlotte. Which makes you wonder, is it in their blood or in their engines? Quaker State, the quality the Hendrick Racing Team demands, the quality your car deserves.
LSU quarterback Herb Tyler hit his first 13 passes in the big opening win over UTEP. He leads LSU against Mississippi State after we're done in Blacksburg. Back to Ron and Mike.
Okay, Michael. Charlie Snyder, Todd Christensen, and Sean Salisbury standing by to bring you all the play-by-play action in that ball game tonight between the Tigers and the Bulldogs.
Charlie's going to miss the fight tonight. Oscar De La Hoya, who's usually out there for all those big fights.
Very high. This kick short at the 7, and this is Turner. And he's tripped up at the 27-yard line. College football next Saturday on ESPN. Game day at 11:30. They'll be on location at that Tennessee-Florida game in Gainesville. Then at 12:30, it's Baylor at Michigan. Then a primetime game, Auburn taking on LSU. And, of course, the Residence Inn scoreboards throughout the day. All next Saturday, right here on ESPN. If you look at Damian Craig, Mike, I think, you know, it's almost a page from Bobby Bowden's book and what he did with Charlie Ward and putting him back in that shotgun formation. It's made a different man out of Craig.
He's dangerous when he gets outside that tackle box. He makes things happen.
McNabb looking for help, lobs it, got it complete. His receiver, Spotwood, went up over the top, and that's only the second time that Spotwood has touched the ball tonight. And I know that's something that they would like to have altered in this game. He caught one in the first half, and now this one here late in the ball game.
Well, I think of Marvin Harrison, who wore number 8 for Syracuse. The great receivers that they've had at Syracuse University. And Quentin Spotwood is just the last one in a long line.
Well, new quarterback Keith Downing in the ball game, and McNabb goes to the sideline. Keith, a senior out of Fairport, New York. Drills the pass, and it's dropped by Turner. Down at the 30. Had it, concentrating on where his feet were, and dropped the football.
I believe his uncle was Al Downing, the old left-handed pitcher.
And yeah, here's McNabb. He took a pretty good shot on that play right there by Carl Bradley.
Came down the shoulder.
Yeah, he sure did. So they made sure that they got him out of the ball game since they're down 24-3. No sense in wiping out the rest of the season and losing a guy like McNabb. Drills it deep over the middle, has it complete down at the Virginia Tech 30-yard line. Kevin Johnson is tackled by Carpenter.
A good tackle by Keon Carpenter, making pay, but a good reception, a good concentration by Kevin Johnson on the post. It's a good drive by Keith Downing.
McNabb wincing in pain on the sideline. Lost it for a moment, gets it away, throws it complete. McIntosh going to have the first down as he'll go inside to 20. Prioleau finally made the stop, and it's good for 11.
Good pressure by Anthony Lambeau. 59, a freshman, 6'3", 279 on Downing.
Here, I'm going to go.
Foster, the defensive coordinator here at Virginia Tech, looking on anxiously. Wants to be able to put up on that board and talk with his kids about not giving up a touchdown against the team that scored 52 last year. That's big. Deep for the end zone, and Spotwood got turned around, and the pass is overthrown as Larry Green was trying to cover.
Well, Ron, what do you think? Tennessee and Florida next week. We wind down here.
I think Tennessee has got an opportunity to win down there because of the veteran quarterback that they have. But as you look at the numbers between the two, where they are ranked, the defense of Florida is at the difference in the ballgame. And can Tennessee not get overly prepared, too up for the ballgame, and just go in there and do what they do best?
Florida has a lot of confidence. Florida Field. A tough team to beat.
Blitz is on. Downing running for his life. Stops. Tries to reset. And he goes down. Way back at the 35. Steve Tate finally got him. You know, an interesting ball game today. Congratulations to Tommy West and to Mike O'Kane and his staff at North Carolina State. They have had a marvelous start. As you look back at this one more time, that's a huge win. We'll have Clemson in a couple of weeks in Atlanta against Georgia Tech.
Ron, right here, what you see is Virginia Tech not wanting to give up a touchdown. The same thing you talked about. They got whooped last year.
They thrive on that kind of stuff.
And they just do not want them to cross that goal line for a touchdown.
So a timeout is called by Virginia Tech. And we're going to stay right here. The other point I was going to make about that ball game is Michael Caine and his staff have done a really, really fine job of turning NC State around. I wondered about one play in that ball game, and that was on the fumble that was picked up. The Clemson player showed the ball to the NC State bench as he headed to the end zone. I wondered about a possible violation on that, a flag for taunting.
I didn't see it. But I want to go when you talk about Mike O'Kane. I think he's done a marvelous job. We talked about earlier Notre Dame, and sometimes with the limited amount of scholarships, and you get caught in some situations, and coaches do a great job coaching all over the country, and you recruit, but sometimes you just run out of players, and it takes a little while to get back. With this 25 rule, in less than 25, it's very difficult. You make some mistakes and you get caught short.
Last week I did, since I was at home, went to see Texas play, and I mentioned to you that John Makovic has gotten caught as far as not having a bunch of veteran wide receivers and also playing two freshmen starting in his defensive secondary. And today he caught up with him. That very thing you're talking about.
It really does, and that's why teams drop down every now and then, because you get some guys injured, you get some guys leave early, you make some mistakes in recruiting, and then it just all adds up. And
Downing on third down, zings it directly to Prioleau. breaks the tackle, and he may score.
The band director's getting ready for the fight song here.
Pegues finally got it. The big left tackle.
And all that's left, Ron, right now is the band director hitting that little stick on the thing and getting ready for the fight song, because
that large lady will sing.
Yeah, she's singing now. But as soon as he intercepted this ball, that band director had his arms up. Get your clarinets and your bugles and everything ready, because it's time for the fight song. This one is over.
Casey Spotwood came up and tried to make the tackle. D. Brown hustling, trying to make the stop.
There they are. She's got the baton. Get ready. She has to watch for big plays like that.
Pegues. Touchdown, Virginia Tech. Point attempt to come as they try to make it a 31-3 ball game, and Shane Graham's got it.
Well, you sit back and you see that Syracuse put 50 on Virginia Tech, and a year later you come back to Virginia Tech and you sit with that loss for a year. Frank Beamer's staff, Bud Foster, Lou West, the defensive secondary coach. And, payback's tough sometimes.
Mike Tirico, let's check in with you real quick.
Iran over on the deuce. North Carolina able to extend its lead. A couple of freshmen teaming up here. Quentin Savage, the block. Antoine Black picks it up, takes it in. Touchdown. They lead 28-17. 2 back-to-back touchdowns for the Tar Heels, up 11.
Well, Mr. Godfrey,
well, that's not over yet. But, I just think when you're as good as they are on defense and they got so many weapons on offense, and they're at home, tough to beat that bunch there.
You know, to promote what we've got coming up later on this season, we're going to be in Chapel Hill when that group of folks from Tallahassee come up there, and that ought to be a fun showdown on the campus at North Carolina.
You know, this league, we talked about the other night, Jerry Punch was talking about with Mike Patrick, the ACC is a lot tougher than everybody thinks it is. You've got to play every week in that league.
Kevin Johnson on the return. Well, we'll remind you here at ESPN, number 11, LSU is in Starkville to take on Mississippi State. And at around the same time, on the deuce, Utah in Fort Worth to do battle with the Horned Frogs. We're getting close to the top of the hour as Clark and his teammates talk it over on the sideline. It's always fun when you're on the winning end of one of these, and all the stories, and the night has gone rapidly and a lot of fun. But conversely, on the other side of the field, it'll be a long trip back to Syracuse, New York, because they're going to drop their third in a row. Who would have thought that? Downing's pass incomplete. That ball was trapped.
And you look at the Big East starting out the season, and sometimes it's difficult to make statements early in the year because things get turned around. But the Big East looks like it's a weak conference this year.
Yeah.
They really, the weapons, of course, everybody thought would be Syracuse, Miami, and Virginia Tech. West Virginia losing to Boston College today. Miami losing to Arizona State. Syracuse off to a loss here. It looks like Virginia Tech sitting in the best seat of all.
As you saw in the graphic there, also record-setting tonight, the fact that Syracuse has not lost 3 in a row under Paul Pasqualoni. That ball right there almost taken away by Michael Hawks. Here's the rest of the schedule for Paul Pasqualoni's team.
And you know, you can say that the season's over for Syracuse, but it's not. I mean, they only still have one loss in the Big East. They could run the table and still have a shot at this conference. They need somebody, of course, to knock off Virginia Tech along the way. Pasqualoni's a good football coach. He's got a good staff.
Well, this is going to be their biggest margin.
Well, they need to get Conrad back.
Oh, you're right. This is their biggest margin to win over Syracuse. As that pass is thrown complete, they get out of bounds. Still 2:25 showing on the clock. As with all the throwing right now, this one has taken a while to finish, when the first 3.5 quarters have gone very quickly. So we'll get you to Starkville just as soon as this one is over.
Virginia Tech, Ron, get a chance to look at their schedule a little bit. They got a very favorable schedule.
Downing going very deep on this one, and the ball is tipped, and he came back and caught it. Boy, Kevin Johnson, talk about persistence. Had it tipped in the air, and then came back and caught the football. Good for 40 yards.
He was recruited by Nebraska as a quarterback, along with Donovan McNabb. Good hands, good concentration. He keeps his eyes on the football.
Carpenter had it go off his face mask, and he still caught it. Good for 40. Downing caught from behind, and he's sacked by Corey Moore. 5 sacks now by Virginia Tech tonight.
Well, Corey Moore just kept working defensively around the block of the tackle. Just got to Keith Downing and made that sack. Sophomore, 6', 216 as a down lineman. Small down lineman, but you figure he's got good speed and quickness to beat that tackle.
Pressure on Downing again. He's just going to run out of bounds. Running for his life, Michael Hawks coming from that middle linebacking position. And the clock shows 90 seconds to play. How about Virginia Tech and their schedule? They are at Temple next week. And, you know, quite frankly, I think they better not take them lightly. Temple jumped out today in front of Penn State for a bit.
You know, a real short bit. But when I look at that schedule, that Virginia Tech schedule, they ought to send the athletic director a box of candy for that schedule. You talk about a good schedule. Now, that's a good schedule. Good AD schedule. In other words, Ron, not too strong. So this Virginia Tech and Frank sitting really in great shape for that schedule.
That pass is trapped. So only 8 seconds off the clock. Now tonight's Visa players of the game are from Syracuse. Antoine Pons, he had a total of 14 tackles. And for Virginia Tech, Ken Oxendine, 104 yards rushing, and he scored 2 touchdowns. As they're part of their continuing effort to further the development of amateur athletics, Visa proud to donate $1,000 on behalf of these 2 athletes to their school's General Scholarship Fund. Pons did have an outstanding night, but quite frankly, he'd be the first to admit he wished he had not had to play so much that the offense was on the field scoring touchdowns. Downing gets it away, throws it for the end zone, and it is knocked away by Virginia Tech. Charlton got a hand on it. Now they're starting to cheer. 1 minute and 10 seconds showing on the clock. And this one is going to be history as the offense will come out and just run it out.
Well, if you're an opposing coach, you don't like that song.
Coming up next, LSU at Mississippi State. Get you there just as soon as this one is over. You won't miss any of the action. Charlie Steiner, Todd Christensen, and Sean Salisbury standing by. Nick Sorensen is in at quarterback for Virginia Tech.
Ron, they have an athletic director's job open here at Virginia Tech. And Sharon McCloskey, you've talked about her in our meetings today. The coaches in all the sports have kind of written a letter that they want Sharon McCloskey to be the AD. Undergrad student, grounds crew, basketball manager, football receptor. She's done it all. I think she'd be a great AD. She's a humble person. I say, let's hire her right now.
There's a flag that comes down. I think Mike, on one of the ball games, she was even a cable puller for.
That's right. Anybody that would hold the cable.
Yeah,
there she is. Right there, Sharon. No job too big or too small. And that's the kind of person I'd want to be my athletic director.
Well, when you look at that resume,
some of those guys want to coach.
When you look at that resume she's done a little bit of everything here at this school, and obviously has done it well because she has continued to graduate to another level.
And I'm going to give her credit for the schedule too.
Well, Sorensen goes down on one knee, and that will be the final play of our ball game. So our final score, the Hokies 31 and Syracuse 3. And don't forget, next Saturday night, Mike Adrian and I will be coming to you from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, as LSU returns home to host the Auburn Tigers. It's all right here on ESPN, your worldwide leader in sports. Now let's go straight to Mississippi State and Charlie Steiner, Todd Christensen, and Sean Salisbury for their ball game. Gentlemen.